Hello, fellow homebrewers. JP here, and I want to introduce to you the brand new Brewbuilt X1 Conical Series available at More Beer. More Beer sells the highest standard in homebrewing equipment, and the Brewbuilt Conicals are just that. They're made from mirror-polished 304 stainless steel, and they come with loads of features that you and I have been looking for. They have a full 2-inch bottom dump valve, which will eliminate your clogging issues, while the sturdy base includes 4 reinforced legs, just like those big Pro tanks do. More Beer also carries the Brewbuilt line of options and add-ons like casters, pressure kits, and even external glycol chillers. So you can find out more about the new Brewbuilt X1 Conical Unitanks by going over to morebeer.com for detailed videos on the entire line of Brewbuilt Conicals. You can trust Brewbuilt with your next fermentation, and you can trust More Beer to find the right conical for you. Brewbuilt at morebeer.com.
Today's Sunday session is proudly brought to you by More Beer at www.morebeer.com.
I poured it in my mouth and it just wasn't going down.
My first beer was an IPA, the best IPA I've ever drank. Mostly because I brewed it.
If you have a scale that is good for measuring cocaine, you're probably good for measuring hops on it.
You're scaring me.
I think the information is awesome and the audio sucks.
Make some sugary water, throw some yeast in there, and you're going to drink good beer. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's fine.
God damn it, man. Oh, my God.
Now, live from the Brewing Network studios in Northern California, this is the radio program for home brewers, craft brewers, beer lovers, and beer geeks. It's your only source for live beer radio that brings expert brewers together with, well, expert drinkers. This is the radio program with a head on it. This is The Session.
Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. Another session here in beautiful Martinez. Our guests today, Anchor Steam, the boys from Anchor Brewing Company, are back in the studio with us, and they were commenting on the lovely views from Studio Double D.
Oh, well, the coolant water, the coolant runoff from the factory?
Right. And we have Bruce and Mark and Mike here, and they were giving Mike the rundown about if you hear the air siren go off, you don't hit the deck here. It's not a bomb siren. That's you run.
Yeah.
You leave Martinez.
You hold your breath and get out. Yeah.
That's right. So hopefully we won't hear that. I was telling him that you actually got told by our friend Leanne, right? Like, hey, they test it every second Tuesday or whatever.
I think it's the first Wednesday of the month.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you hear it any other time, it is not a drill.
Right. It's real, and you should leave.
And I've heard it. It's a real air horn. Yeah. It's like the World War II siren.
Air raid
siren. Yeah. Yep. It's gnarly. My guess is that the Martians don't. It's deaf to their ears are deaf to that. They don't even hear the noise anymore. You know. They just,
or maybe they hear it constantly.
Right. Yeah. Great show planned for you today with the boys from Anchor back in here. And we got to go to the Anchor Brewery beforehand.
Yeah, we did.
I wish that we could go to the breweries every time before we have a guest on. We need to get the BN jet fixed up again. I don't know. The alternator went out or something. I think it needs new tires.
Or a different travel agent or something. I don't know.
Well, because it's all ball bearings these days. Yeah, so I'd check that out.
One of the wings is broken or something. I don't know. Because you get a different outlook on the interview going and checking out Anchor. Plus, we got the private tour. Mark Carpenter walked us around himself, which includes I don't know if you know this, but there's a strip club in the basement.
There is.
Yeah. So Mark specifically said to
not to talk about that. Oh,
sitting right here.
Right.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's a wild, that brewery. You know, it's very calm on the outside. But the things that go on in that basement,
yeah,
you know,
that's yeah.
We got to see the new bottling line down there, and one thing, Doc, that you're going to be excited to talk to Bruce about today is we got to see their stills down there.
Nice.
And it's my understanding that that's what Bruce does most of the time. Spend most of his time down at the stills now, not drinking, mind you, actually distilling.
Right.
That's what he told us anyway.
Maybe
he looked half cocked to me.
Yeah.
But it was late in the day.
Well, we did have to nudge him awake at his desk when we got down there.
Hey, guys. So we'll talk a little bit of Anchor Distilling today, too. I hope Doc's ready for that.
Yeah, I am. I'm always ready for that.
I did a little distilling of my own liver last night. We went to Vinny's in Concord.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
Oh, you were hitting the hard alcohol there, I guess.
No, I don't really do that.
No, the Schumans were trying to make
there's not much
shots,
for beer
though.
there.
Yeah, no. And what there is for beer, God, it's like they're running it through a
dirty line.
a sewer hose or something.
Yeah, Dirty Line City.
You know, because here's what you do when you go to a bar that you don't trust. You order Sierra Nevada, or an Anchor for that matter.
Right.
You order something that you know what it's supposed to taste like, and it's Old Faithful, and it's
in the bottle.
Well, I ordered a Sierra Nevada, and I'm not sure that's what I got. I should have stuck with the bottle, because anything that comes out of those lines at Vinny's is not a flavorful beer. It's not a taste that you want in your mouth.
Questionable at best.
But it fits the decor.
So you're the reason Schuman's not girlfriend was puking in my bathroom this morning?
Was she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was pretty lit.
Like hardcore, I guess.
She was lit.
Yeah, it was real bad.
Schumann is Schumann. Let's start there. He had a conversation with what we call his girlfriend. They've been dating for a couple, I don't know, a month and a half, couple months. He decided when he was drunk a couple nights ago to tell her that she's not his girlfriend.
Just apropos of nothing?
She might have referred to it, and he's like, listen, I just want you to know you're not my girlfriend.
Just so we're clear.
This happened like at night, 11 o'clock at night before they go to bed. And all I'm thinking is,
told her in the morning.
Did you really feel better after you told her that, Schumann? Like, now that you got the air clear, is everything okay?
Yeah, what changes?
And he goes, honestly, nah, kind of feel like a dick. But anyway, that's Schumann.
Yeah,
Apparently, he doesn't have a girlfriend till after 3 months.
Well, nobody was cutting either of them any slack, because she was always referred to as not your girlfriend.
Yeah,
and,
we were like, hey, your not girlfriend needs another beer, Schumann.
Yeah.
Well, then she was talking to some dude at the bar. And I'm like, does she know that dude or what? And a couple people were like, I have no idea. I think that they actually met at the bar, and they were spending a lot of time at the bar. And then
it's not his girlfriend.
Schumann got that pointed out to him, and then he looks over and makes some stupid jokes, and then 2 seconds later, he's over there shaking the dude's hand and making sure that his territory, while not yet claimed by by a flag necessarily, it's being surveyed.
He's getting a scent over there.
Yeah, he hasn't planted a flag, but he's definitely pissed on her leg.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Marking his territory.
Yeah. Schumann. Anyway, we had a good time, and it was Terrence the Black's birthday. Although he didn't go to Vinny's with us. He left. It was his idea, and then
well, he's smarter than you guys.
Yeah, much smarter. As the time came near to go, he's like, no, my wife wants me home.
Yeah.
And we're like, nah, she really doesn't, though.
Probably doesn't even know you're gone.
Yeah, I'm sure she's fine.
She's probably yelling at you.
He says he's going to come in and go for Drunk of the Week today for his birthday.
That's the rumor.
Bevo, have you heard any more about this? Is that going to happen?
I doubt that that's going to happen because they were at the hospital all day today because Jackson's real sick.
Oh, really?
Oh, no.
So I don't know that that's going to happen.
Great. One of their kids is a douchebag and the other one's sick all the time.
Which one's which?
I don't know. All right, a lot to do today. 888-401-BEER, that's our phone number if you got questions for the Anchor Boys. Also, Bevo's in the chat room taking your calls and your text chat things. Just hit the chat button on the homepage and she'll get your questions over to us. Be nice to Bevo, and don't be sexist or racist or anything else.
Don't be sexy either to her.
She doesn't like it when you're sexy.
I don't like it when you're sexy. Be fat and disgusting.
Right. I don't think you have to worry too much about that, Beef.
Yeah. Like your baby.
That's not nice.
That isn't nice.
It isn't nice, but it's real true. I saw it last night. I'm like, that thing is looking more and more like Sam. It's really unfortunate.
Your baby is starting to look like Sam.
Doesn't make her less cute. She's a real cute kid.
Yeah. But then JP also pointed out that she may look like Sam, but she waddles like Bevo.
That's not nice.
She has sort of a gait to her,
Yeah, especially she was like swinging her arms.
No, dude, really. She's so uncoordinated. It's so funny.
Really?
Like, she's definitely my child.
Well, she's a baby. I mean, how coordinated can you be when you're a baby?
Yeah.
Right.
Let's just hope she grows out of it, because I never did.
She hasn't grown out of that ear thing. She has a crooked ear still. I thought that was supposed to...
So did I, but not just one. No, they at least they match now. They're both Dumbo ears.
You can fix that, Doc?
Yeah.
Like as a dentist, or like other people can fix it?
No, I
do it.
Take both of them off.
Plastic surgeon.
You got to wait till she grows up, though, right? You can't fix it as a baby.
I think, her cartilage is still too soft to manipulate yet.
Can't you just glue them back to her head?
Dude, I asked the doctor if we could just tape them at night, if that would help, and she was like, my doctor's kind of a hippie. She was like, as long as you understand that she is beautiful just the way she is.
Oh, dear.
I was like, I'm a dick.
Right.
And by the way, here's
thinking
Carrie.
about the other kids that are going to make fun of her. Just so
That's all I care about.
so
That's
just-
exactly what it is. I care about how she's going to be treated.
Right. They're not going to love her for who she is.
No, and you have to sign
Or
this
those big ears.
And you have to sign this paperwork for Child Protective Services. They're waiting in the other room for you.
Yeah.
Do you think she's going to have the lethal 1-2 punch of your uncoordinatedness and Sam's thrill-seeking gene?
I hope so.
That would be amazing.
Oh, God.
Sammy was out on the dance floor with all the Cougars last night at Vinny's, and even the Cougars didn't want anything to do with Sam.
Oh, yeah, the Uber Cougar really didn't.
Yeah, the Panther was in there. That's a 70-year-old Cougar, by the way.
Oh, wow.
She came in, and Sam went right over to her, started dancing with her. She didn't want anything to do with him. Sam was like, man, I can't even dance with the Panther.
He's wearing bowling shoes. I mean, that's you know.
You wonder why I didn't want him home last night.
He's down there now. Plus his members-only jacket. He's got a new members-only jacket he's sporting.
They still make those?
I think that's a 1976 Wilson's leather.
No, yeah, I took a
think
picture of that
that's,
last night.
I don't think that's
Wilson's House of Suede and Leather.
Maybe baby Abby will get the trifecta, and we'll also get Sam's fashion sense.
That is unacceptable. No.
Hey, baby, look, your first bowling shoes. 8,900 feet have been in here, but I don't care. I love you.
Dear. All right, a few announcements we got to get through here. Our Winter Brews Festival is back January 26th. You can go to WBF2013.eventbrite.com to get your tickets now. Buy your tickets in advance, and you'll save yourself a little bit of money. We got a ton of breweries on the list. I think there's more than 35 breweries this year. Anchor will be pouring there. We know that they're on the list, and several others. Russian River, 21st Amendment, of course. Just go to WBF2013.eventbrite.com. Get your tickets. You can see the beer list. Plus, I signed a reggae band this year.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we've got the Purple Haze, the Jimi Hendrix tribute band. He's playing again. Ralph Woodson is his name, and he's a badass.
Everybody loves that.
Yeah, he's good. Anchor guy, you Jimi Hendrix fans, any of you? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You can't not be.
Right.
This guy is the real deal. He goes up there, he plays with his teeth and with the guitar behind his head, and he does a good job. So he's playing our event again. And then I signed reggae band Fortunate Youth is going to be there. It's an unfortunate name, but it
is kind of. Well, you told me that. I'm like, oh, it's a Creedence cover band. That's great. That's a good Creedence cover band name.
They're a really good band, though. Came highly recommended, and they're on a tour, and they're playing our gig. So that's all January 26th from 12 to 4. It's in downtown Concord. It's just a couple blocks away from the BART station, so you don't have to drive. There's also plenty of parking if you do have a designated driver. Designated drivers get in for free, and first 500 tickets sold get a commemorative glass. There's going to be food there. You name it. It's another great Winter Brews Festival, so check it out and buy your tickets now. Available for pre-sale in the store, we have our brand new DVD series, the Brewing Network's Homebrew U series, where we're teaching you how to brew different styles of beer. And the first in the series is with brewmaster Matt Brynelson from Firestone Walker, teaching us how to brew the perfect American Pale Ale. And it's a good DVD, so check it out. They're available for pre-sale now. We'll be shipping at the end of the month, so get them now, and you get a couple bucks off. Shop, do all your Amazon shopping through our Amazon link, and we get a little kickback. Just click the Amazon link on our homepage, and then do all your shopping as normal. It doesn't cost you anymore, but we get a little bit. We haven't done a product of the week in a little while.
We haven't, yeah.
I got an email, though, from somebody who said that one of their products was the one that we mentioned. It was the cat book. What was the cat book? Like how to know
your cat's going to kill your face or something
like that.
Yeah, he owned up to it. He wrote in and said, "Hey, that was me."
What a freak.
Yeah. No Amazon thing of the week.
I don't know. My laptop, as you can see, my crapped out of me.
Make one up.
Yeah.
Dildo. I don't know.
Yeah, they sell those.
They've done sex toys.
No, they have
on your
that
feet.
there. Not to knock another sponsor, but yeah.
They do have it at Amazon. I can't believe that Amazon sells sex toys.
No, they do.
Me either, especially because they always say new and used.
Yeah.
That concerns me on many levels.
That's a good call.
Are we stumping these brewers tonight?
I don't know. I thought of revamping the Stump the Brewer game to do it a different way, because Stump the Brewer, it's always such a train wreck. First of all, we have to wait an hour for people to invent questions, and then they end up asking these guys things like, what's my favorite color? Like, they're not beer questions anyway.
Stumped. I win. Give me a shirt.
I'll tell you what, if they start thinking of questions now and you mark them down and they're any good, then maybe we'll do a little round of Stump the Brewer later. But
Okay.
we're going to revamp it.
We are.
We're going to do it a different way in the future. We just didn't do it with these guys yet. All right, you can also shop through Micromatic by clicking the Micromatic link and get all your keg parts. iPhone and Android apps are available, so you can listen on the go. They are free. Just search BN Mobile in iTunes or the Android Marketplace. Watch all this on justin.tv/Brewing Network. You can see JP's pretty face.
Hi.
He's got new pants on today. Would you like to model your new pants for the folks at home?
I would. Hang on a second. They're here, Scott, if you wouldn't mind.
JP single-handedly holding on to the corduroy look.
I love corduroy.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a new belt also, JP?
No, it's my same old belt, but the good thing about these pants is you can see my butt now.
Yeah, JP discovered that his waist is actually 2 inches higher than where he's been wearing his pants for the last 15 years.
So if you see, like right there, like normally they're down, they're kind of
right,
like this, right?
He's trying
and
to
then
be a gangster.
I look myself in the mirror and I'm like, wow, I've crapped my pants.
Right. I have a theory,
and then I pulled them up.
I have a theory that the distance, that the lower a person wears his pants below their waistline is directly related to their IQ.
No.
Like you've seen some of these guys walking down the road where they're at their knees. You can't. These aren't smart people, right?
Right.
There's no way that's a college graduate.
I think they just got lazy when they pulled their pants up to over their knees. Like, fuck it, I'm just going to belt this shit and get out of the house.
I mean, maybe I'm stereotyping, but they're not future doctors, right?
I don't think
the people who wear their pants around their knees?
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
You talk about walking with a waddle.
Yeah, exactly. All right. JP, you look like you want to sing us a song about your new pants.
Oh, can I? Would you let me do that?
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
You just had that look on your face. I know you're proud of those corduroys, and I thought maybe I'd give you the opportunity to sing a little tune.
Well, okay, this is a tune. I don't have anything prepared necessarily, but
just sing from your heart.
I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Sing from your heart. It'll be fine. Uh-oh.
I have new pants on, baby. My new pants are very nice.
Wow.
Corduroy and green t-shirts are the stuff of dreams come true.
It's amazing how in tune you are.
Well,
it's like you hit every note.
I have a thing in my head. I call it an auto tune.
Yeah. It keeps you there.
Yeah, it keeps me there.
Yeah. All right. Do we have a Twitter game today?
I'm having problems accessing my game, so no.
Okay.
I mean, they're kind of up, but no.
Do you have that photo that we took?
I do. I do. I had to restart the computer twice, so I'm still kind of like setting up everything, but let me get into it. But I do have it. It's online.
I want to do. We took a photo at Anchor that we wanted to show Bruce, and we think he'll enjoy it. And I think we're going to do the Anchor guys brought some swag to give away. So what we're going to do, I think, is tweet.
Got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Now don't give the answer, guys, if you know it. But JP's going to tweet this photo of Bruce from Anchor, and the first person to reply what celebrity Bruce looks like in the photograph will win some Anchor swag. We'll send a hat and a T-shirt. How about that? So
I like that.
JP's going to send it out. And do you guys think you know who his doppelganger is? It's a very famous person, and we'll see once JP tweets it. We get the right answer, and we'll say. I'm sure that if you don't know the answer yet, guys, as soon as we say who his doppelganger is, you're going to go, oh yeah, oh yeah, I gotcha. So, all right. In the meantime, I guess we could just do some feedback. How about that?
Let's do feedback.
Okay. Let me see.
Can I also just say that it was mean to convince me that Theo Brew was gay? Because he's not.
He is gay.
But he is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
You guys are terrible.
I mean, the man is gay.
He's gay.
That's not his boyfriend.
He is gayer than a hot tub.
Is he just telling you that he's not, Vivo?
Doesn't JP have a hot tub?
Yeah. So, you want to fight about it?
I mean, and even if that guy was married, I would not be convinced that he's not a gay man.
Especially if he was married to a dude.
He got nominated for a lot of things in the Brewing Network Awards, though.
4 different ones.
So he's got that going for him.
Yeah.
You know.
Which is nice.
All right, let's do some feedback.
Oh my God!
You've got mail.
Kick ass.
All right, feedback is brought to you today by Austin Homebrew Supply. Go to austinhomebrew.com and check them out. A great sponsor of ours and a wonderful homebrew supply shop there in Austin. So check them out, Austin Homebrew Supply. All right, few things in the feedback today. Harry Hood writes in, Dear BNers, I'm writing to let you know that I'm very sorry that I will not be able to listen to your show anymore, as I'm now deaf. I was listening to your holiday show when I noticed an uncomfortable feeling brewing in my ears. Suddenly it hit me. The sound of Nicole Ernie's voice was causing this excruciating pain. I didn't want to turn off my favorite brewing show, so I had to destroy my eardrums so that I would never have to hear Nicole again. Wow. And he goes on and on about how he ruined his eardrums.
Isn't there a disclaimer at the beginning of the show anyway?
Yeah, there should be. He says, I'll let you know that I'm going to continue to be a monthly donor, though. I've lined up a friend that has agreed to transcribe each show for me so that I won't miss a thing. Your buddy, Harry Hood. Well, Nicole was a little drunk, and she can be loud. I wouldn't say it makes your ears bleed. It's a little overzealous, don't you think?
It might be a little overzealous.
Right.
It might be.
Okay.
Then again.
Beva's going to strain her neck from shaking her head no so much and eating yogurt in the booth.
I'm on a diet. I'm hungry. Shut up.
Mills wrote into us.
Mills.
Remember Mills from Crankers Brewery, one of the last shows we did of 2012.
That was a fun show.
Yeah. He writes in, Hey, my networks. First off, thank you for the hospitality that you showed us on our trip out there. What an amazing time. On to business. Every time Nicole is on the show, I get introduced to new flavor and aroma descriptors. Does she or Nate have any book recommendations for building tasting vocabulary? Well, unfortunately, neither Nathan or Nicole are here today.
Yeah.
So we'll have to read this again next week. But he goes on to say, here's another topic for the show. I guess it's about Tasty's lagering methods. I guess you have a different lager method than traditional that you posted in the forum.
Right.
He says maybe we should try to get Doc and Tasty to split a Helleswort and ferment them with the same yeast, one with a traditional lager ferment and one with Mike McDole's approach, and then do a tasting panel on the show. What's different about your lager approach, Tasty?
Well, I don't go through a lagering phase. I start out like it, whatever your primary lager temperature is, 45 or 55, whatever it is. And then after like 3 days, I just start ramping up the temperature. And within 2 weeks, with the terminal gravity, I'm at like 68, 70 degrees. So I don't really do a diacetyl rest. I really take care of all that, by doing a warm finish.
Okay.
So then I just chill and, cellar the beer, and within like another week, it's being served.
Mike Lee is here from Anchor. Is this heresy that he's talking about, letting his beer go up, his lager go up that high, Mike? What do you think? You say it's fine. Okay. And Doc does the more traditional where he keeps it down at lager temps. Yeah.
Mike said warm finish.
Yes. Well, I think that's a good idea to taste the two side by side from the same wort. Maybe if you guys get the chance next time you do a Helles or something, Doc. I
think they'd be different.
It'd be a pretty interesting show.
Yeah, it'd be good.
So a good idea from Mills. We'll get right on that.
We'll find some brewery and we'll do some wort.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Ranger Zach writes in. Thanks for being a ranger, buddy. That's good. That's a good donation level.
Is it?
Yeah. He says, Hey, BN Gang, I had to paint from 8 to 7 on Saturday and Sunday at my new house. And thanks to you asshats, I could barely get the job done. Almost 22 hours of the Brewing Network. And it was all highlighted by Justin playing the Alabama congressman's heart. Keep up the good work. I think I remember that.
Song? I didn't know what that meant, but I wanted to leave it.
I did.
alone.
I called in as the Alabama congressman's heart on a show, basically, and I was the voice of his heart, which I think wasn't very happy with him. I don't remember it in its entirety, but I think it was damn funny. Also, okay. Our drunk friend Porter Smith is back. Writes in quite a bit, as in every week. And he says, "Did you know that Jake and Mike have left Northern Brewer? Chip 2. WTF? I miss Brewing TV. Sad story, I'm sure. Is JP married? Is he straight? Is he curious? He's tall. This will be my last email for a while. The judge says that I don't listen and I need to be taught a lesson. Lindsay Lohan doesn't go to jail in California. People in Tennessee do. Love you guys. I don't know what to say. This is going to suck." Is he really going to jail?
What the hell?
Who knows if he's real or not, but...
He's such a wackadoo.
It sounds like it. The judge says I need to be taught a lesson. I don't listen well. This is going to suck.
I hope he calls us from prison.
Oh, God.
I want our first phone call from prison. We haven't gotten a call from prison yet.
This is a collect call from, hey, it's your partner, man.
Will you accept the charges?
I accept. Yes. Bevo, you
Porter
accept
Smith.
any call that comes in from a state penitentiary.
Okay.
It'd be a wonderful phone call. Okay. Bill J. writes in, "I'm a new listener and have been recently making my way through Jamil's old podcast, starting from the first one in 06. But today, I've had a problem downloading the 11/6/06 Cider Show, among others. Is there something wrong with it? I don't know. I'll check it out. But here's what usually happens when people can't download an episode. We have download limits per day. I think you can only download something like 12 episodes a day, which, let's be honest, that's more than enough. And then you have to wait 24 hours and you'll be allowed back in. It's just to keep traffic down so that everybody can keep downloading shows. Other than that, I'll look into the Cider Show and make sure it's working. Who's this guy's name is Batch Ain't One? Batch Ain't One writes in, "Dear sirs, I'm creeping dangerously close to being caught up with every episode of the Sunday Session. And then I came across a YouTube video of a post-show recap deal. And I played a little Match the Face with the Voice game. Good gravy. You know when you have an image of what someone looks like by their voice, and then you're disappointingly nauseated."
Oh.
Wow.
Good gravy.
Good gravy. Having seen what you all look like, I'm probably going to find a Jason Statham podcast. Do we know who that is?
Yeah, he was in The Transporter. He's a handsome English bloke who does a lot of action movies and doesn't take his shirt off nearly enough.
He's the guy from Snatch and the Guy Ritchie movies. Heavy English accent. Do you know what I mean? That guy.
All right, I don't know.
That was dead on. You didn't get that?
Right.
Yeah.
You know
We don't
what?
know. How can we tell? I mean, we have nailed it.
And then he basically goes on to say he wants us to have more homebrewing specific processes shows like we did in the early days. So the problem with that is every time I bring it up with these guys, they're like, I don't know, it's the same thing we always do. You know, I say, hey, let's do a show on mashing.
Jamil did that.
Yeah, Jamil already did it. So I don't know if you're going to get any more.
Got to do one on lagering, obviously.
I mean, it's difficult. Yeah, we'll do one this year. That'll be that. I don't know. It's amazing that we've lasted this long. I don't know how to rehash topics over. How do these magazines do it?
It's
the same issue. All
They
the
have
time,
different
right?
authors, I think. So it's a different voice. Same information.
I see.
I think. But it's just different people doing it.
Right.
It's different people doing it.
See, JP's also gay.
What?
All right. Anyway, one last one from John B. I've been brewing for about a year and a half and still a beginner. The information provided by you has propelled me to properly troubleshoot and thereby correct my issues. My latest brews have exceeded my expectations and renewed my passion in brewing. Thanks for all that you do. You're welcome. That's great. Yeah, there's nothing more discouraging than going through the long and arduous process of making a beer only to find out that it's shit. Ask me how I know. It's very discouraging. So it always feels better when you get that good batch done. It kind of it does renew your faith, doesn't it? Makes you want to keep brewing and spending money.
It's a great motivator.
Yeah.
More money and more money.
When are you going to brew a good beer, Moscow?
I did get the brewing set up from Phil, actually. It's just sitting in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I get an ingredients kit and...
Your dad's brewing now, isn't he?
Yeah, he just brewed his first batch. It's
going to be terrible.
Right now, I know. But he went all out. He got the kegerator. He's going straight to kegging. He's got a wine cellar, so he can do temperature-controlled fermentation, so it might not be as bad as you think.
Oh, that's good.
It'll still be terrible.
Yeah, probably.
How do you know what we think?
The temperature-controlled fermentation is one of the first things we tell people to, before they start going and buying, incredibly expensive equipment, we say, well, just control your ferment. So If his sanitation is okay, is he anal?
Yes.
Well, he could be all right.
Look at Scott.
Right.
I mean, Scott's anal. I'm sure it doesn't stop there.
Right. So, okay.
Yeah. That'll be cool. I can't wait to try some of your dad's beer.
Yeah, you should send some down. All right, that's all the feedback I have for you today. Don't forget, feedback is brought to you today by Austin Homebrew Supply, and they're good dudes. Go to austinhomebrew.com. All right, did we get the Twitter pic out there?
Yeah, it's out there.
You tweeted it out there?
I tweeted it out.
Did you get any answers yet?
I got a couple.
Did you get the right answer?
One person, yeah.
So we have a winner.
We have a winner, yeah.
This is not a complicated
It kind of is. Well, because it was on the chat. It wasn't through Twitter, so...
Oh.
But I did get a secondary winner.
Okay, well, why don't we can do two prizes. We'll give the chat dude a prize. And
it is. Yeah, there's a bunch of them actually now on Twitter.
You have gotten the right tweet?
Yeah.
I know the guy, I know the celebrity, and I'm drawing a blank on his name right now, but...
I got a second one.
Oh, yeah, okay, I got it.
I got a second one. And
is it accurate?
Yes.
All right, let's go to before we go to break, let's go to the guys at Anchor and see if anybody except for Bruce. Do you have an idea what celebrity Bruce looks like in this photograph?
I don't.
Nobody, huh?
I really don't.
Mark's saying no, too. Bruce, do you think you have an idea? He doesn't have an idea. You're all going to... Well, Bruce is going to hate me, but you're all going to go, oh, yeah, you got it right. It's Lou Ferrigno. Mm-hmm. You look like the Hulk.
Yeah.
You look, in this photograph, you look exactly like a young Lou Ferrigno. And have you heard that before? He has gotten that before.
The second one, Joe Piscopo.
That's true, too.
Oh, Piscopo. I'll give you that.
A young Joe Piscopo.
At least Piscopo's a little better looking than Ferrigno, Bruce. That one's a little more complimentary.
He can hear more better anyway.
Looks like a young Bruce Joseph.
He does, yeah. That's like, how old are you in that photograph, Bruce? Do you think?
25.
About 25. Yeah, you're a young, handsome man in this brewing photo here. There's a lot of cool nostalgia photographs all around the brewery. It's one of the reasons to take the Anchor tour, I think, is not just that it's such a beautiful brewery, but the amount of history that's in the building. We'll talk to the guys a little bit more about that. In fact, Mark was showing us some old items around the brewery, too.
It's even the history and the people that work there.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a young picture of a dude and then you can see him later on in the tour.
In the dungeon.
Yeah, as part of the brewing paraphernalia around.
And you're like, is that Lou Ferrigno? No, it's the guy in the photo upstairs.
Yeah. I've always wanted to brew beer.
Is Lou Ferrigno still alive?
Yes.
Yeah.
You think people come up to Lou and go, you look like the guy from Anchor?
All the time, right?
I'm loving the gin you guys are making. It's fantastic.
Yeah, Lou's definitely still alive. He just did a Celebrity Apprentice last year, I believe, or maybe 2 years ago.
He did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Did he get picked?
I don't think so.
No.
Is he still a big guy?
Very big, yes, and very deaf.
Yeah. Well, that's probably why he didn't get picked. He can't hear the phone buzz.
Right. That's important in that game. Okay. So who's our Twitter winner?
It is...
the first person to...
So many questions. I don't even understand. You're like Taryn right now.
Just asking things that are relevant?
Yeah. And you want answers. ZZ Caps said it's Joe Piscopo. Okay. And then the guy who said Lou Ferrigno is Doug Raggi.
Okay.
Nobody knows.
So that guy is going to get a prize. Send your address to jp@thebrewingnetwork.com. He'll send you some Anchor swag. And who is our chat member who won?
Ellis, Texas.
Ellis, Texas. All right. Same with you. jp@thebrewingnetwork.com. Send your address over, and we will give you some Anchor swag. Well done, everybody.
Thank you.
A young Lou Ferrigno.
Piscopo blew me away. I was
Piscopo's
like,
good.
You go, yeah.
I don't know why I didn't think of it. Have you gotten Piscopo before, Bruce? No. Just Ferrigno. Anybody else? Any other celebrities people? Steve Martin. Yeah, you got a Steve Martin.
I can see that.
I
can see that.
Yeah. All right. Tasty doesn't look like anybody. No. You know,
bland. Yeah.
Tasty's the most unique-looking person I've ever seen.
He's white bread.
Do you have a brother or anything?
Yeah, a brother.
You do?
He looks a lot like me, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Older or younger?
A year younger. 2 years younger.
Okay.
See, there you go. He looks like his brother.
Right. Where does he live?
In Illinois.
Is he a beer guy?
Not like me, but he's a beer guy, sure. He likes good beer.
Do you like him?
Oh, yeah. He's a great brother.
That's good.
Great brother.
Do they call him nasty or something funny?
Disgusting.
He doesn't live the celebrity life like I do.
Yeah. Right.
Because he's still in Illinois.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get the guys from Anchor up here on the microphone. If you got questions, 888-401-BEER, or just hit the chat button and join Bevo in there. You can send your questions that way. We're going to talk about the new stuff going on at Anchor, including this stout that's in my glass from their Zymaster series. It's a good beer. We'll be right back. It's The Session.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
Hi, I'm Jamel Zanishev, and in addition to my work on the Brewing Network, I write the Style Profile column in every issue of Brew Your Own magazine.
Hi, I'm Sean Paxton, and when I'm not prepping for the Home Brewed Chef on the Brewing Network, you can find me writing articles on how to cook with your home brew for Brew Your Own magazine.
Greetings, cretins. This is John Palmer, and when I'm not writing for Brew Your Own, I'm reading it.
John Palmer, Sean Paxton, Jamil Zanishev. If you love listening to them on the Brewing Network, you'll love reading their articles, tips, and recipes in the pages of Brew Your Own magazine. Join Jamil, John, and Sean 8 times a year in Brew Your Own. And when you subscribe to BYO on the Brewing Network website, half of your subscription price goes right back to the BN to support great beer and food programming. So sign up for Brew Your Own magazine through the BN website today so you can listen and read your way to better homebrew.
Nico, listen, our lawyers said that we had to do this for 1 hour, and after this, we don't have to talk to each other for 3 more months, I think, to the next meeting.
Kids, come on, let's get out of here.
I'm supposed to have more lines. I'm the professional. Hey, it's Sully.
And I'm Nico.
And we opened the 21st Amendment 9 years ago at 563 2nd Street in San Francisco, just 2 blocks from Giants Park, to make great beer and have a great time doing it.
That's right, because to us, the 21st Amendment is more than just the right to make beer. It's the right to experiment, to be innovative, and just do things differently. And so now, we're putting our craft beer in cans.
That's right, cans. You can find our world-famous Hell or High Watermelon Wheat Beer and Brew Free or Die IPA throughout California and Alaska.
And now it's also available on draft at select accounts in the Bay Area.
So next time you're at your local neighborhood pub or good beer store, be sure to ask for 21st Amendment in cans.
Because everyone likes it in the can.
Tasty crack cans.
Tasty crack can.
A vial of White Labs yeast is the key to your best beer. When you open a vial of White Labs yeast, you're giving your beer its best chance for a perfect fermentation. In addition to their already incredible variety of yeasts, White Labs is proud to announce WLP 90, San Diego's super yeast, now available year-round. WLP 90 is super clean, super fast fermenting, with low esters and has a neutral flavor and aroma profile. It's alcohol tolerant and highly flocculent. For more of the latest White Labs news, click over to whitelabs.com, where you can read reviews of yeast, learn in the lab section, and join the customer club. And if you should find yourself in San Diego, White Labs has a brand new training facility for craft brewers and home brewers alike. Whitelabs.com. Discover yeast, nutrients, enzymes, and more for commercial breweries, home brewers, and homebrew stores. White Labs. It's all in the vial.
This is www.thebrewingnetwork.com. Sit down next to it, grab yourself a paper towel, and watch those yeast have sex.
You're listening to the Brewing Network.
welcome back to the program. It's The Session right here on the Brewing Network, and we got the boys from Anchor in studio with us, Anchor Brewing Company. And what an amazing company, I think Anchor is. You know,
it's a good story for sure.
Just the, the first craft brewery in the country, basically, despite other information that you might hear around the interwebs and from different people. Anchor was the first.
Specifically the following.
And having been around for this long is just an amazing thing. In studio with us today, we've got Mark Carpenter, Bruce Joseph, and Mike Lee. And you guys they were on the show, I guess it's been a couple years now since you were on the show. And I saw you, Mark, out at the Great American Beer Festival this year.
Yes, that was a great time.
Do you go to that
place?
Do you go to that often every year? Or?
No, I early on I went to very many of them, but then it was always right when we were doing our Christmas sale, so it was a real bad time for us to get away. And a couple of years ago, I decided it was time to go again.
Okay,
so I've been to the past two, and as a judge, and enjoying the festival. Yeah.
Oh, so you did judge this year as well?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I was really happy to see you there. I'm always running around. I did a lot of panel interviews this year, and I go walking by the Anchor booth, and Mark grabs me. I was real happy to see you. I made fun of myself on the show, Mark, because I talked to you for 10 minutes on that break there. You brought me back to the booth to get a new beer. I think it was the Mild at that time.
Correct.
And talking the whole time, you're one of my idols in the industry. And at the end, I go, "All right, John. Well, it's nice to talk to you. I'll see you later." Just like a dope.
Right.
And Mark, you were so
I don't think I noticed.
No, you did. You were so gracious, though. You just said, "Hey, it's Mark, but hey, don't worry about it. You're busy," and you made me feel better about it. I felt like a dope. Talk to you that
with
long.
all that beer, these things happen, right?
Right.
Meanwhile, at the next Brewers meeting, he's like, "Get this,
that idiot
at the BN,
right?
Can't even remember Mark as the name."
Bruce, I think you got to go to the GABF this year too. Did I see you there?
Yes.
Yeah, you made it also. So it's nice that you guys get to go out and do. You don't just stuck in the brewery.
It is
like Mike. Apparently,
like Mike.
I was stuck.
Mike's always at the brewery. Yeah, you want to find Mike? Just show up at Anchor. He's the only one working down there. Everyone else just having a ball at that place. A lot of people work at the Anchor Brewery. I noticed on the tour this time.
About half of them.
Yeah, right. But you got a whole upstairs of people at desks. And you've got a large brewery staff, a large bottling staff.
Yes.
It's a lot to maintain at your brewery, though, isn't it?
Yes, it's a nice. I mean, it's a beautiful brewery, and I'm glad you guys came by to see it because it's so traditional with the copper brew house and open fermentation. You know, it's a very traditional brewery that Fritz built, and we just love it. Obviously, I mean, been there forever, and all of us, and
sure,
and so we love showing it off.
And one of the things I noticed in the corner, you guys have a lot of old brewing equipment.
Yes.
Kind of around. In fact, you showed us an old tap.
Yes.
It was kind of JP, did you end up posting that photograph?
Yeah, it's online. It's on our Facebook page, and there's a whole folder about the Anchor Tour.
Okay. So go facebook.com/Brewing Network, open up the Anchor folder, and you'll see some of the things we're going to be talking about today. But explain this old tap, because it would just look like a long pipe with a faucet at the end.
Exactly. It's they're really kind of a unique little invention that they were for the kegs like Golden Gate, but with a tap at the bottom and a hole in the top for the air or gas that went in. And so when you put this pipe into the bottom valve, and then you had the faucet at the other end, but when you open the faucet, a normal faucet, it opens up and the liquid comes out of the center.
Right.
With this faucet, it actually comes out of around the edges of this plug and runs off the end. It's a tapered plug.
Okay.
And it was a kind of a very primitive foam control, especially for steam beer in these old bars and restaurants where they didn't have any refrigeration.
I see.
And they were just trying to keep the foam down.
Because the gap would be so small that foam couldn't go through.
Well, Ed, you could control it.
Yeah.
The beer was fairly warm and high carbonation, but you could control the amount of liquid coming out very carefully. I mean, you could open it a crack or a lot.
Okay. So my guess is if you go digging around in this basement, you might find all sorts of equipment that seems like it would never have been used.
When Fritz bought the brewery, it was an old brewery, so he inherited a lot of old equipment.
Oh, the building was a brewery before?
Not the building we're in now. That was not. But when Fritz, the original building that Fritz bought, or the original brewery, he didn't own the building. They were paying rent in those days. And but there was a lot of old equipment that came with it.
Okay.
A lot of it, though, especially the wooden barrels, was sold off when in the 60s, when the brewery was going out of business. The then owner would sell off these wooden barrels for bridge fare so he could get home.
Nice.
So a lot of this stuff has been lost over the years. But we still have a lot of interesting stuff around.
Okay. And so some of this stuff you can see if you go do the Anchor tour, which is always full, right? You have to make an appointment to get on this tour.
Yes, and unfortunately, I think they're planning on changes because it gets kind of silly that you have to call in so far in advance. And it's too bad. So I think we're going to be making some changes, numbers of tours and whatnot in the near future. So hopefully it will get easier.
Okay. Now, we're going to talk a little more about this later because we've got a game prepared to play with the folks at home. But you're semi-retired now since the last time you've been on the show.
Yes. As of last August, I'm trying to cut back the number of days I work, and it's been really nice. It's been great. I mean, I back up like with Bruce and Mike, that they were doing all the work anyway. Now it's just official.
I was thinking it's probably been nice for them. They don't have to watch you pretend to work anymore.
That's it.
Did things change at the brewery without Mark being there full time? The amount of tasks that you have to do, the organization. Really, did it change without him there?
Yeah, we're still getting used to it.
Yeah,
but he's still there enough.
Okay.
And he's always available. If we've got any questions, he's always around. So it still is Mark is the brewmaster.
Okay. So you still have the title of Anchor Brewmaster?
Correct.
Okay. My guess is it might come up the most when something goes wrong. When shit's about to hit the fan and Mark's not there, is that when you find you miss him?
We sure do then, but other times as well.
Yeah, right.
And we hope that it does hit the fan when I'm not there. Not when I'm there. Not that I want it to hit the fan, but if it's going to, when I'm not there is better.
You just don't want to be there.
You got it.
What is your day-to-day job, Mike? Are you in the brewery most of the time?
Yeah, it's funny with the new Anchor, we've got a lot more marketing and sales, and I remember when the CFO came into the lab one day and said, so we need to put some computer monitors in here. I said, well, we can just get one, and we'll just share it. She said, oh, no. You're going to be spending a whole lot more time on the computer.
Oh, right.
And I'm now learning that she was right. So I spend a lot of time on a computer, as sad as that sounds. But day to day, I'm responsible for brewing.
Okay.
I'm responsible to make sure that the beers that we need to brew get brewed.
Get done.
All the ingredients are there. And that takes a lot of time on the computer, too. But that's what I do.
How often are you guys brewing there? All day, every day, or what?
Yeah, we're brewing 7 days a week.
You are. Is it a 24-hour operation?
Not quite, but we've got that figured out. We can brew 24 hours. We've got the fermenters and the time in the brew house to do that. But right now we're doing either 5 or 6 beers a day.
Wow.
And 2 or 4 on Saturday and Sunday.
Because I did notice that you have a lot of conditioning tank space down in the basement, but you only have because you do the open fermentation in the shallow tanks for the most part, right? And you only have a few of those. So it seems that your process is a little bit limited in the sense that you're using those. You can't just add conical fermenters like other breweries do, is what I'm getting at.
Well, we are. We've got plans to add more primary fermenters.
You
right
are?
now.
Okay.
Yes, we're planning on that.
Just to ramp up.
But we've been adding
not
cellar
conical,
tanks.
though.
No, not conical.
Oh, you won't. Will you add the same
more
cool
open
ship?
fermentation.
Yeah, right.
Go ahead, Mike.
More fermenters just like we have now.
Got it. Where are you going to put those? You're running out of space in that building.
We have, we're creating space.
That's not possible,
Right.
Actually, it is.
It is. You're doing it. Good.
If you go into our warehouse, you see the ceilings are very, very tall.
Yeah.
And over the bottle shop area, we don't use that height. And so we're actually going to build a little mezzanine floor there for fermenters.
Okay. Got it.
Nice.
Mark, you've been doing this for so long. You can't imagine not being at the brewery, can you?
No. No, it's funny, and you say so long, and it's true, but it's gone so quickly.
Really?
Yeah, it really has got. I worked out of high school. I worked for the telephone company for 9 years before I went to the brewery. That, if I think back, that seems like a longer time than since I've been at the brewery.
Because you didn't enjoy it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
And it seems that most people at Anchor must love their jobs because every person that I meet there, except for some of the new marketing people who have come with the new ownership, seems like they've been there for 20 years too. I met, was it Tom?
Liddig.
Tom, and he'd been there for 20 years. And here's what I really liked. His mother was there before him.
Tom Riley.
Tom Riley, okay.
Yes.
And I just, in fact, she came to the brewery first. What, did she work on the bottling line with you?
She did.
Okay.
When we first moved into that building.
Check this out. I know Mark can say this, and I know I can say this. I think Bruce can too. And what we can say is that...
We'll find out.
We've worked for Anchor longer than we haven't.
Right. And that's an amazing
Isn't that
thing.
Amazing?
It is. Even just to think about it.
All three of us can say that.
And Bruce, you too, yeah? Wow. See, that's impressive. And I think there's something to be said for the company. Because it's not just that you love beer. You could have gone and brewed somewhere else.
Yeah.
You love the company.
Yes. Fritz Maytag really created a unique environment, and the new owners are carrying that on, and it really is a unique place. It's a pretty cool place.
Do you have any communication with Fritz now?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
He still lives in the city, and we see him from time to time. There's a guy Gordon McDermott, who worked for the brewery for years and years, and he was there before me, but he retired a number of years ago. He's younger than me. He's just lazy, I think.
Right. He's not a go-getter like you.
Right. Gordon, unbelievable worker. Unbelievable. To have him as your leader, I mean, he was hard to keep up with. But so I see Gordon and Fritz from time to time. We'll get together. And
okay.
So,
Does Fritz come by the brewery and point out what you guys are doing wrong still? Is he?
I don't think he's done that yet.
No.
He's stopped by the brewery, but I think... he's really proud of what he built.
Yeah.
But I think he's happy that it's moving on, and he's got the weight of it off his shoulders.
Right. I'm sure that for him, even like for you, when you thought about semi-retirement, it's probably a bittersweet thing. He can be proud of what he built, but I'm sure it was also a sad day to leave that building.
Exactly.
Exactly. But now he can go and enjoy his life. So
exactly.
Which is what you're trying to do with half of your time.
That's exactly it.
You're watching a lot of daytime television, aren't you?
Thank God I haven't been. I really, because I do love television, and I can easily get sucked in.
Sure.
But no, I haven't been.
I could see you just watching Jerry Springer for half the day.
Exactly.
Well, he doesn't. I mean, Oprah's lost her magic. Let's be honest. There's no draw anymore.
My Uncle Tony, who was he was a chief detective of the police department his whole career, a real man's man. When he retired, started watching soap operas with my aunt, with his wife.
Oh, no kidding.
None of us could believe it. We thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
And at first he did kind of say, well, listen, what else am I going to do? I don't even like him. About a year or so goes by. He didn't even try to pretend he didn't like him anymore. He never missed a show.
That's funny.
And I
my
worry.
Stories.
It's his stories. Yeah. Hey, my stories are on. Shut up. Yeah. I don't wish that upon you. I don't want you to have to watch
I hope it
opera.
doesn't happen.
I don't want to talk too much about your retirement because we are going to play the retirement game. It's a new game. We'll probably only play it once every 20 years.
Yeah. We have a theme song for it too.
Yes, yeah, and we're going to play it with Mark tonight. Now, Bruce, you're down in the distillery most of the time now. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So when Anchor sold, it sold the brewery itself, the building, and everything there.
Yes.
Sold you guys.
Yes.
and the distillery. What about the winery?
No, Fritz retained the winery.
Okay.
But all the buildings, everything else was part of the package.
Okay. And so, Bruce, did you learn about distilling on the job? Because you were a brewer your whole career, right?
Yes, we did. Fritz wanted to make rye whiskey, and we were licensed in, I think, the end of 1993.
Okay.
And
it's been a while.
Fritz, studied it, researched it, and we started making stuff.
Okay.
And I think we all learned on the job together. We made a lot of things that we threw away, and we took a lot of time to try to learn what we were doing. And I think one big advantage that we had is we didn't really have a timetable for getting a product out that we could take our time. It was a little project back you saw in the back of the warehouse, and we were all still doing our other jobs on the beer side.
So it really was a small side project.
Yeah.
And
it's gotten bigger, or it got bigger soon after that. But it was it gave us the opportunity to kind of figure out what we were doing, I think.
Sure, that's a luxury than just opening a distillery on its own.
Yeah,
and nobody went blind.
Or did they?
No. We all wear glasses now. But
yeah. What products are on the shelf from Anchor Distilling that people can get?
Well, we do, the first thing that we released was rye whiskey, and we do 100% malted rye whiskey, 3 different bottlings. And the difference is the type of barrels that they're in. So we do a straight rye whiskey that's aged in new charred oak. We do what we call an 18th century style that was, kind of based on the first whiskeys in the United States, that is aged in new and used toasted barrels. And then the Hotelings that's in once used charred barrels.
Okay.
And currently hard to get any of them.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. You saw how big our distillery is. We don't have a lot of whiskey out there. And then after we released the first bottling of Old Potrero, we came out with the gin, the Junipero, a London dry gin, and since then we've released a Dutch gin, Genevieve.
Okay.
And just recently, about a month or so ago, we released a hop vodka.
Oh, wow.
Hophead.
Oh, you guys brought some of that today, didn't you?
No, I can't wait to try that.
Yikes. Okay.
Bust it out.
Is there real hop flavor in it? Can you...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? How do you get the hop flavor in it? Is it like dry hopping?
Well, Mark's the minister of secrets. So
is that right?
That was a fun project because the president of our distilling, David King, came up with the idea and came to us and said, could we do it? And we're used to saying, yeah, sure, we can do anything. But it turned out to be a way harder project than I first thought, to get a great hoppy taste into vodka without some unpleasant hop taste.
Yeah.
And we did a lot of experimenting, but we think we came up with a product that we're very happy with.
There are a lot of hop-off flavors that it seems you'd have to dodge. Plastic, I can predict, might be tough.
I think especially in a spirit like a vodka.
Yeah.
Which it seems like anything
clean.
Could stand out, right?
Well, the first attempt, if you were making cabbage vodka, it would have been right on.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Which
but I don't
sounds
think
good.
That's what we wanted.
Right.
Got the more vegetative. Huh?
So are we allowed to know in what part of the process these hops go in?
I don't think so. I think that we worked really hard at it.
Yeah.
And,
Before bottling.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Somewhere in that area.
And we came up with a system that we're really happy with, and so I think we would like to just keep it a little close to the vest right now.
I think it involves smoking a lot of weed and throwing just oodles of hops into things. That's all it is.
You might be right.
Yeah, that's their big secret. Okay. Well, we're going to try that in a little while. We'll after the break, we'll get some vodka up here and really get this show started, huh,
Very
boys?
good.
Yeah.
Be curious to see what you guys think of it.
Yeah. No. But before the break, I did want to ask what's new at the brewery since we've talked to you guys. I see that you're putting out some new beers.
Correct. We have our Zymaster series.
Okay.
A guy who works at the brewery, Dave Burkhart, came up with the word Zymaster, created from Zymergy and Brewmaster, and I think it's a very creative word. And we're the Flying Cloud Stout is now the third beer in that process.
Okay.
But our Breckles Brown, I really think is probably
love that beer.
Thank you. I do too.
Yeah.
I just think it's great. I think that really was the first in the series, but we didn't have the name then. So we did our Breckles Brown, then we did the California Lager, the Mark's Mild, and now the Flying Cloud Stout.
Okay.
And the Flying Cloud Stout is just out now.
And this is what's in our glass here.
Exactly. And the reason for the name Flying Cloud, the Flying Cloud was a sailing ship that held the record for many, many years for the speed from New York to San Francisco, carrying lots of goods to sell in San Francisco, among which were beers and stouts and ales. Like IPAs, these would have probably been export stouts, higher in alcohol, so they would last. And so this is based on an export stout. It's about 7.5% alcohol. And
I knew I was feeling better already.
Yeah, it's a great product. And the other thing that's unusual about it, there's lots unusual about it, but one of the things that's unusual about it is that for the first time in forever, we've brought in a new yeast into the brewery.
Ah, okay.
We wanted to, the last thing we wanted is to have anybody say, well, gee, it's kind of like your porter. So,
sure.
And it's clearly different, and we thought to get a different yeast would be a good idea. And we took advantage of White Labs and their facility that they have a bar, I think you've been there, where they create beers, and then they'll split them into 5 or 6 different sections, each done with a different yeast.
Okay, yeah.
And you can go to their bar and taste all these yeasts.
Right.
It's really something. I was very impressed with that.
It's something that Chris White has wanted to do for a long time, and it is a great idea, mostly benefiting brewmasters like you.
Exactly.
Because you don't
It's
have
also
to,
open to the public, isn't it?
Yeah, anybody can go in there.
I recommend it highly.
Yeah, the consumers drink all the beer, but the real benefit is to the brewers.
Right. And that goes for home brewers as well.
Yeah, brewers, yeah.
And that's how Chris designed it. One of the I'm sure you guys got to do this. One of the things I like is there's a binder at each end of the bar, and the binder has all the brewing specs of the beer that you're drinking. So it talks about the flocculation of the yeast and the temperatures that they fermented it at, and really every detail, so that you can look at its performance and taste its performance, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So did you try several different yeasts for this on a stout?
Well, when we went down there, I just wanted to see the full range of yeast that they had sampled there. And yes, we did pick from one from which we tasted. But I was more interested in just the overall project, because as I've seen their catalog over the years, there's some of those I look at them and I think, well, how different could those be?
Yeah.
But there really are differences, and that was the fun of it. And the last time I talked to Chris White, he was mentioning that he was surprised at how many of the locals come in the afternoon just to drink.
Right.
That way it's turned into a great public bar.
Yeah.
But I recommend it to any brewer to go by there if they're ever in San Diego, because it's really an experience to see these subtle differences. And he has a whole range, as I'm sure everybody knows, of Belgium yeast, and those were fun for me to taste, to see all the differences of those types of yeasts.
Being such a yeast-driven beer, those styles, to taste the subtle differences.
Exactly.
It is impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what yeast did you decide on for this?
This is 007.
Okay.
Which I like the number since we were doing an English beer.
Right. Absolutely. That fits.
Yeah.
And that's a yeast that they've had for a while. It does have a lot of unique characteristics compared to like the Cal Ale yeast that they use.
Yeah.
That 001.
I like this one because we wanted to get as low a final as we could with this one. We wanted the high alcohol.
Okay.
And so we thought that one might be a little better for us. And it was great. It was a great yeast.
Great. Now
we don't have, and it's gone now from the brewery. We aren't keeping it cultured or anything.
That was my next question. If you have to see, you're not a good client to Chris White.
We're a better client because rather than keeping it cultured, if we need it again, we'll have to buy another batch.
That's true, right?
And it's not cheap.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because you guys, it's a big pitch you have to get for brewing like you do.
Yeah, and we wanted to get a big enough batch to pitch rather than work it up and then pitch it.
So before bringing in that yeast, did you have two yeasts in the brewery? The steam beer and another ale yeast?
Correct.
And the ale yeast that you had, was it less of an English characteristic?
Well, it's our ale yeast that we've used for all of our ales.
Okay.
And so I wanted to make sure that the stout had its own character. And we're very happy with that yeast.
Yeah.
But I wanted the stout to be completely different.
Okay. And now that you had to use this, you hadn't used a new yeast before. You've been working with the same two yeasts. Was there difficulty for you in using it?
No, it actually went very well.
Okay.
It really did.
All right.
It was surprising, though, how little we pitched.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
And the fact that it's a different fermentation cycle, huh, Mike?
Yeah.
We kept it a longer time in our primary fermenters before going to the cellar. But so it was a whole different process.
Why longer in the primary?
Well, the yeast that we use, we want to drop it to the cellar before it's entirely finished because we want to trap some carbonation. And that yeast over the years, it's just a very fast-acting yeast. And then this is another interesting thing. And it actually crops and rises to the top. And so when it rises to the top, the normal English brewer would then vacuum that off or somehow scoop it off the top, leave it in his fermenter for another 5 to 7 days, and then rack it off in his kegs. But when it rises to the top, we then send it to the cellar and collect that yeast for future use and let it finish out in our cellars.
Okay.
It's interesting, though, these yeasts that are ale yeasts, the one we used for this, they don't come out to the top. These have all been changed for I think these have changed for cylindrical conical fermenters. No one's harvesting from the top,
right?
And so they never do rise,
right?
Which it kind of surprises me because I always consider that the definition of an ale yeast.
Sure,
yeah.
Top fermenting.
I have to admit that I would get confused about that in the early shows because I go, well, why are you calling this a top fermenting yeast? It's always at the bottom of my carboy.
Yeah.
And it is confusing, a bit surprising.
Yeah.
Okay.
But our in-house ale yeast does definitely come to the top.
Right.
And that's when we drop the beer out from under it.
Okay. Now, you mentioned the being surprised at the pitch rate. How do you calculate the pitch rate when you're using a new yeast and it's a new beer? I mean, for us, we go to there's a little pitching rate calculator for homebrewers, but that's a small scale. How do you do it?
We just believed White Lab.
Is that right?
They sent us what we needed, but it seemed like the volume was so low.
I see.
Compared to what we pitched.
They do that for you. You can give them the specs of the beer you're trying to do, and they tell you the right pitch. Okay.
Correct.
Well, that makes it easy, doesn't it?
One thing,
if you believe him.
Yeah, if you believe it, right.
It worked.
Yeah.
It worked. Yeah.
What temperature did you ferment this at?
Mike,
well, we went a little colder because they recommended a little colder. We normally go warmer, and I think it was 65
to 70, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay. It still has some of the English yeast characteristics, even though you had it colder.
That was their recommendation. That they said that's where it worked best.
Okay.
Our ale yeast will go much higher than that.
I really like this beer.
I enjoy it thoroughly.
What flavors can you pick out in there for me, JP?
I get some roasty. Obviously, I mean it's a dark foreign or not foreign, but export stout, so it's roasty on the edge. But
it's not like
it's very smooth and it's very
creamy.
Full body. I mean, you could say chewy if you want to be just kind of like standard entry level beer guy. It's a meal in a glass.
Yeah, the mouthfeel is
really enjoy it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it sticks with you, but not in an awful way.
Yeah.
You kind of get a little sticky around the lips.
I think the 7% helps out with that because it does keep it from being too thick.
You can't taste it. I mean, you can kind of taste there's a lot going on alcohol wise, but you don't really know. Like I would have thought maybe 6.5, maybe
6.9,
maybe 6.9 and 0.9. I don't know this. There's 2 decimal points. That's how good.
Yeah.
But I would have no idea.
Yeah.
That it was that high alcohol.
What do you like about me, JP?
I really like that hoodie that you have on. The zippy. I've been admiring it. The way the layers, the two.
Okay, that's
it's like
nice.
Color blocking.
He likes my alcohol content. Yeah.
You wouldn't
Which
know.
is rising all the time.
Yes.
After 5 every day.
Along with my blood pressure.
Yeah. This is a wonderful beer. You guys must be proud of it.
Yeah, we are. We like it very much, and we did a completely different mash regimen than we normally do. We did English mash.
Okay.
Using all English malt. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, let's know about that. When you say regimen, you're talking about the temperatures and things too.
We used a one temperature.
Okay.
We've done that once before. This was our second try, and it worked out pretty well.
What temperature did you use?
160. Water was 160.
Okay.
We never let the mash go lower than 145.
45, right. Held it there.
So normally you do a step mash?
Correct.
With your other beers? Okay.
Correct.
And why the choice to do that? To do just a single infusion this time?
Because it's in English.
And that's how they would do it. Okay. Got it.
And it was fun.
Yeah.
And
you're getting lazy, aren't you? You didn't want to do the.
It was fun.
It was fun. We had a good time.
Actually, I think using steps would have been lazy.
Yeah.
We've done that so many times.
How many different malts are in this beer?
3.
Just 3 different. Okay.
4.
What are they?
The one that I was really impressed with, I like to just taste malt, and you can find out a lot about how it tastes. And I was really impressed with Maris Otter for the pale.
Mm-hmm.
It just tastes wonderful if you just eat it.
Yeah.
But my one complaint with the Maris Otter was we used 5,000 pounds of Maris Otter in 50-pound bags.
So Bruce was carrying 50-pound bags all day.
Yeah, not Bruce anymore.
Yeah, some disgruntled employees.
Younger people.
Yeah.
But they were complaining a lot about it.
But it is a terrific pale. If you've tried it, it tastes
Which Maris Otter was it? Was it a crisp or
yeah, crisp?
The Scottish or the English?
I'm going to say English.
Glen Eagle.
I'll back you up, Mike.
Yeah.
Glen Eagle's the Scottish.
Okay.
Oh, then okay, English.
Yep.
And then also a Breeze product called Black Prinz.
Huh?
Which
I've
we
never
really
heard of
like.
that. Is it just like a roasted malt?
Yeah, it's black, but it's supposed to be a astringent reduced.
Okay.
I'm not sure how they do it, but it totally works. Again,
Yeah.
if you just taste malt in your mouth, like if you eat black malt, even chocolate malt, I think chocolate malt is pretty bitter.
Yeah.
But this wasn't.
Yeah.
And so we thought, boy, that's interesting. So we tried it, and it worked out great.
Yeah, as soon as JP said that this has a roasty flavor to it, I actually meant to chime in and say, but it's not acrid or astringent. It doesn't have a chalky flavor or any of those things. It's real rounded and nice.
Yeah, it's roasty. It's just roasty. Usually when you're talking stouts, you go, well, it's roasty. Well, how acrid is it? Because all these people put a lot of black patent, like way too much.
Yeah.
I can't deal with that. But it's just the roasty quality of the malt, and it stays soft.
Yep.
With all the other base malts. And
We've
stuff.
discovered we get astringent bitter from chocolate malt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is not supposed to be.
I've
unless they
tasted that
tell us.
before. So this malt was called Black Prinz?
Black Prinz, P-R-I-N-Z. This is an ad for Breeze.
Who's the maltster of that?
Yeah.
Mike, who malts that?
Breeze.
That's a Breeze. Okay. Well, we'll have to see if it's available.
Do you guys
at
do
Humber shops.
any pilot batches when you make beers like this? Or you just,
Yeah, that's the fun part. No, we don't. We wish we
You
had
just,
a pilot brewery, but we've made a
jump on
lot
the
of
horse
new,
and go, huh?
a lot of new brewers over our time, and we're seem to be doing a lot more now with our new marketing department.
Mm-hmm.
But it really is possible to do it in your head, and then come up with a pretty good beer.
Well,
we can adjust it
obviously
later.
from experience you can do that, and that's what you're doing. I
Well,
understand.
yeah, but it would be nice to have a pilot, but we don't. And we've so far, knock on wood, we've been very successful with our new recipes.
This is a great beer.
They come out really good the first time.
Yeah.
We've done some tweaking, but
Yeah, I mean, you guys are all competent brewers. You could come up with your brew pretty much first time out of the bag.
Right.
And
oh yeah,
but we do always keep the ability to do a second brew that is, if you didn't like your first brew, you can make a second brew that's slightly off the other direction and blend them.
Oh, okay.
Make an adjustment.
Yeah, and that goes on with our Christmas ale quite a bit.
That would make sense.
Yeah, but listen, we're so close, and we're talking minor changes and something like that. But this one really came out nice. It really did. And it was.
What's the third malt in there? We have the Maris Otter, the Black Prinz, and you said 3.
The flake barley, Mike.
Flake barley.
What's that addition for?
Color.
I like that.
See, I would believe that. That's why he's screwing with me. I'd go, oh, okay.
Yeah. There's. It seems that flake barley is used in an awful lot of stouts.
Yeah.
And I think people believe that it's good for the head and for a little bit of body. And we've never used flake barley before, and so we thought, why not? Let's give it a try and see what it does. We didn't use much. It was a pretty small amount. But
is it fermentable? Does it add?
Oh, yeah.
It is. Okay.
Yeah, it's already gelatinized. It's already ready to go.
Oh, I
It's
see.
Ready to go. Yeah.
Hence
We
that.
put it straight into the mash tun. We were kind of afraid to put it through our mill.
Oh, yeah? Because it's flaked.
Yeah, it's already flaked.
See, now
Because
Mike's fucking
we didn't
with
have to put it through the mill.
No, you wouldn't have to put it in the middle.
So why put it through the mill?
Right. So with the rest of your beers, you mentioned all the 50-pound bags you had to do. The rest of your beers, the grain comes out of the silo for you guys, right? Pretty easy stuff.
For the pale malt. For all our colored malts are in bags.
You still have to do
We're
bags.
also planning on getting some silos for 40 as well.
Yeah, for the majority, yeah.
Oh, some big sacks. What do you call those?
Super sacks? We're going to get caramel 40 in bulk, which will really help a lot.
A silo or a super sack?
We're going to get we're going to get silos.
Silos, nice.
Yeah.
We tried super sacks years ago, and we were not happy with them. They presented some issues.
Well, the hanging, are they the way you hung them and how you got the malt?
Well, yeah, in those, you had to save them to send them back to Breeze.
Oh, I see, the returnable.
And so that was a problem for insects and whatnot, having all these bags laying around.
Right, sure.
The other thing is when they'd ship them to you, they were always falling over in the truck.
That was
They
the
were
worst.
horrible to get out of the
man.
truck. We just decided it was less labor just dealing with 50-pound bags than with these super sacks. So.
It's funny because most mid-sized breweries, I see a bunch of super sacks on the floor.
Yeah, well, and if it works for them, fantastic. But we tried it, and everybody said right away, we'd probably, if we had stuck with it, believe me, we would have made it work. But we just didn't see the big advantage. So.
Okay.
Well, and they're called super. I feel like they should work. Otherwise, they shouldn't be called
What's so
super,
super
right?
about these?
Sack.
Yeah, shitty sack.
Super, a lot more work.
Super good idea, bad implementation. So you're going to get a Crystal 40 silo, is that it?
Correct.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a lot.
We also use a lot of
40.
Munich sometimes.
And Munich, okay.
And wheat. So we can use it for more than just the 40.
Nice.
Okay. Why don't we do this? We got to take a break. Quick question. Do you think you guys are the last generation that will work for 40 years at Anchor? Or
at the same place?
Or do you have young people that you think are going to do this? You know what I mean? It's uncommon, especially with these kids today.
Yeah.
Those
Bruce,
kids.
why don't you give your opinion on that one? Yeah, you've been quiet over there.
What do you think?
Mike's hogging the microphone. Mike, you can't shut him up.
He's such an attention whore.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
what do you think?
I think so.
You think you're the last?
And certainly on the production side, people like, I think all of it's fun to brew.
Yeah,
and it's been a really fun career.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all of us felt like we worked in a really special place. Yeah, and it continues to be.
Yeah.
A fun thing, So I think, possibly.
So you think that the people that there's a good chance people will continue to stay at Anchor for a long time?
I think so.
The younger.
I do. I think. A big draw I think for all of us is doing something that you're really proud of.
Yeah.
And we were, it's hard to imagine how people work and doing something they don't really care about. They're just putting their time in, and I think we've been lucky that we've been someplace where the whole time we're very proud of the product, and it's been a fun industry. The industry's changed a lot. I mean, certainly, Mike and Mark have been there longer than I have, but I've been at Anchor for 32 years.
Okay.
And of course it's the whole craft beer industry is totally different, but it's still a real fun industry. A lot of interesting people. I don't see why not. I don't see why anyone or why people wouldn't want to do this.
Sure. And you get to wear that white jumpsuit.
Well, yeah, that's pretty good. You know what? How much money we save on clothes? Can you imagine if we had to go out and buy suits?
That's true.
What
a waste.
Dry cleaning.
Yeah, we need jumpsuits in here, dude.
I think we do.
It's good. It's good for lunch. When you spill stuff on yourself. It's good,
Yeah.
Even if we had jumpsuits, we don't have the physical space that they do. I mean, we were just there 2 days ago. That's got to be addicting. Just physically going to that building every day.
Yeah.
With those copper kettles and the SF skyline out the window. I mean, that's got to be addicting, right? To want to go to that building every day. I would.
It is I call it, probably lots of people do. It's the best view in brewing.
Oh yeah.
That you guys have out there.
It was always a great thing when you were the first brewer, and you'd come in, at like 5 a.m. and start mashing in, and that beautiful brew house. You look out the window, and it's dark, and you see the old downtown of San Francisco. It's great.
Oh, you're giving me chills over there. I can smell the mash, and looking out the window.
Is this where you cut Tony Bennett in? Right here somewhere?
I can cue up sad music.
I can sing a song for you.
Right.
You already did one.
I can do more. Are you sure? I got more.
Got his auto-tuner over there.
All right, let's do this. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk more with Anchor. We've got some more beer to try. We have some hop vodka to try. We'll talk about that, and I want to talk about the stills, too, because that's another important part of Anchor. It's The Session, 888-401-BEER if you got questions, or hit the chat button on the homepage. We'll be right back.
Listening to the Brewcasters.
On the Brewing Network.
Brewers Publications is thrilled to announce the release of For the Love of Hops, a practical guide to aroma, bitterness, and the culture of hops by Stan Hieronymus. For the Love of Hops is a resource for brewers of all experience levels. It explains the nature of hops, their origins, and how brewers can really maximize their positive attributes throughout the brewing process. Ken Grossman from Sierra Nevada Brewing Company says,
"This book is an amazing compendium on the hop, written at a level of detail that will captivate historians, chemists, and brewers alike."
For the Love of Hops is available now from Brewers Publications at brewerspublications.com. Order your copy today and wrap yourself in the binds of bitterness with everyone's favorite brewing ingredient, the love of hops.
Hi, I'm Jason Harris, the proud owner here at Keystone Homebrew Supply. We're thrilled to be entering our 20th year of supplying this great industry, and to show you, the Brewing Network Army, how much we appreciate your support, we're offering you 10% off your first order on our website, KeystoneHomebrew.com. Just use coupon code BNARMY at checkout, and I'll get your order out the same day. My goal at Keystone Homebrew Supply has always been to have a complete supply of everything a brewer could want. When you place your order online or when you come into our store, it's our goal to have everything on your list and more. One aspect of KeystoneHomebrew.com that we're really excited about is the ability to fulfill customers' exact grain bills. Do you hate to wait? Keystone Homebrew Supply can get your precious yeast and hops to you within just one day if you live between Connecticut and Virginia, and within 2 days east of the Mississippi. KeystoneHomebrew.com. Coupon code BNARMY. I'm Jason Harris, and I approve this message.
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters. This is Jamel Zanishev, and I want to tell you about my favorite Heretic beer, Shallow Grave Porter. I love the rich, malty character of this beer. While full and rich, Shallow Grave has an easy drinking finish that isn't too sweet. I've always loved my homebrew porter recipe, so when it's time to brew Heretic Shallow Grave, I started with that in mind. But I tweaked it with all my latest recipe ideas. Just like in homebrewing, I made sure we used only the finest malts that would produce the ideal flavor for this beer. We used select British malts to get the rich chocolate and caramel flavors, and we spared no expense. The result is a beer as dark as a moonless night, with hints of vanilla, coffee, and chocolate, perfect for a cool evening out in the woods. Cheers.
What'd you get? More brewing ingredients?
Yep. You know what I love about Brewmaster's Warehouse?
The $6.99 shipping?
Well, yeah, but...
Oh, the in-store classes for beginning brewers.
Yeah, that's cool, but...
Oh, the Brew Builder. Creating and saving your recipes online is awesome!
No, yes, but...
The cheese-making supplies.
No.
Oh, the wine-making supplies. Oh, the distilling equipment and liquor flavorings.
All that stuff is awesome, yes, but what I really love is that the guy who runs it is totally hot. And that Brew Builder software is awesome.
Oh, yeah. Brewmaster's Warehouse brings you flat rate shipping on great equipment and ingredients to make beer, wine, cheese, and spirits at brewmasterswarehouse.com. And if you're in Georgia, stop by Brewmaster's Warehouse Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6. Visit brewmasterswarehouse.com today because it's totally hot.
Oh, yeah.
what's funny is brewers will say, yeah, I don't brew to style. I'm brewing my own beer, and it's like a German Pilsner, but it's black. Yeah, it's a sports beer. You know,
the home of live beer radio.
TheBrewingNetwork.com.
Because like beer,
radio shouldn't suck. You're listening to The
Session.
You wandered in here all alone. You couldn't leave your problems there at home. You're wondering what's going on. And me, I might seem distant 'cause I'm gone. Take a little time out, come into yourself, don't let it go south. You put it on the shelf and scream and shout, 'cause it's better for your mouth. Never should have opened up your mouth. Take a little time out, come into yourself, don't let it go south. You put it on the shelf and scream and shout, 'cause it's better for your health. Never should have opened up your mouth. I'll try to calm myself down. Been running, trying to play with this whole town. I'm strange, the strangest one around. I'm in the deep end of my senses and I'll drown. Take a little time out, come into yourself, don't let it go south. You can put it on the shelf and scream and shout, 'cause it's better for your health. Never should have opened up your mouth. Take a little time out, come into yourself, don't let it go south. You can put it on the shelf and scream and shout, 'cause it's better for your health. Never should have opened up your mouth. Billowing over, billowing over, billowing over, billowing over. I told him I'd try to knock it off. Turned around and just turned it up a notch. Cook, cause some of us like it hot. Think you're really one of them. Chances are you're not. Think you're really one of them. Chances are you're not. Chances are you're not. Chances are you're not. Chances are you're not.
When he came out, he was just a calm little guy. He just, it was like we disturbed his world. No fight. He just came out and he was just kind of, I don't know, he was very content.
Anything other than perfect is gonna be reason enough for my demons to hate me. Cause lately the voices are rising and volume beginning to alter my mood into crazy. In the nick of it, live in the thick of it. Sick of it, son, you a brick of it. That's the road that I've been taking. That's the road that I've been taking. Bright and strong, universal shine as the day is long. Hyperactive mind. Hyperactive mind. Hyperactive mind. Hyperactive mind. Hyperactive mind. Hyperactive mind.
Tuned into this session because life's too short to listen to crappy radio.
I am really enjoying this stout. I'm on glass number 2. Anchor Boys were kind enough to bring us a keg.
It's fantastic.
We're gonna enjoy this. This is a very nice beer. I'm glad you guys are producing new beers. Anchor fans have wanted to see that for a while, don't you think?
It's interesting because we have had that comment a lot. But if you think about the fact that when I started there, we only made Anchor Steam beer, and all those beers we created, that were most of which were the first of their varieties.
Yeah,
we did stop coming out with new brews. There was a period in the 80s, maybe, when people were coming out with chocolate raspberry stout, and it just started to get kind of silly. You know? And
that's my favorite, though.
That's
right.
All right.
I told you he was gay.
Whoa! Wow!
But there was a period where it was getting kind of silly. All these different beers coming out now. people are, I think, doing a little more creative stuff, and obviously the public's acceptance of hops has made a huge difference in what we can put out there and have people find interesting.
Sure.
So yes, we did a lot of creating, and now we're doing it again, and that's fun for us. I mean, we're the Cymaster series. We have some more planned in the future, and to sit down and sketch out these beers on paper, and it's kind of fun not having a pilot brewery, because it really makes you think, what is this going to be like? If you have a pilot brewery, I mean, well, we'll try it and try this and try that, but you really have to stop and really think about it.
And you got to go all in.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now, I'm surprised JP didn't get to this first, but here you are. You're able to put out a new beer. You're going to do it under the Zymaster series, and you don't put out an IPA.
Oh, I was getting there. I was working an angle not to try to be like a dick.
But you don't put out an IPA, which I can speak for JP confidently. We both commend you for that.
Thank you.
I like IPAs, don't get me wrong, but I just think you didn't go with the easy one, I guess is what I mean, right?
Well, I tried not to get into the highly hop thing, because there's so many. Everybody's playing that game, and yeah, it'd be fun. I think you may see us do that down the road.
Sure,
but when I found a good example is I found the Citra hop. And boy, I just fell in love with it. And no, I wouldn't want to create an IPA with Citra. I think it has such delicate flavors. And so that's why we created the Breckles Brown, where it's a modest use of it, but it has just wonderful aromas and flavors in the Breckles Brown. When we found the New Zealand hop, the Nelson Sauvin, we created the Humming Ale, and that one was pretty close to an IPA, a real generous use of Nelson Sauvin. So we're trying to find these different hops and different ideas to come out. The poor hop growers now, every new variety, everybody wants to be first with it, and then and then they're going to move on to something else. I think the hop growers, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Sure,
that varieties will come into it pretty quickly, I think.
And with all the new beers, are you all whole hops still?
Yes, yeah. We don't use any pellets or extracts. We're all whole hops.
Okay.
We have been trying some new varieties. There's a lot of new ones out there that are really interesting that don't even have names yet.
Really? How are you trying them? If you don't, are you sneaking them into some of your current beers to test them out, or you mean kind of purchasing them to smell them, or you put them in beer?
Well, we have our own way of testing them.
Okay.
I don't know if Mark wants to tell that.
I think it's Chairman of Secret. I think I came up with this idea. I don't think I'm the only one who came up with it, and I think it's pretty common test. Mike, you go ahead and talk about it.
Well, it's pretty simple. We take whole cones. Well, first we buy a case of Bud Light.
Okay, good start.
Then we take the caps off, and we put. I think what are we up to now? I think it's three whole cones, jam into the bottle of Bud Light, recrown them, put them in a fridge for 2 or 3 weeks, and drink the beer.
Wow, it's a great idea. That's your test batches right there, and Bud's doing all the work for you.
Exactly. I used to think, we should keep this secret, but I think there's a lot of people doing it. But it really does give you an honest example of what the hop will do for dry hopping.
Right.
In a real beer. We've heard of hop teas, but hop teas...
I've never been happy with those or rubbing between them. Mike and I went to New Zealand, and when we went to the Nelson Sauvin harvest and went to their experimental station, they had no end of hops for us to sample, and you crush them between your hands and smell them, and but boy, it doesn't give me, at least, I think, a real good example of what that is going to be like in your beer.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you on that. So somebody finally found a use for Bud Light. That's fantastic. I can see that's really a great idea.
We started the test. Actually, we used our summer beer. but we moved on to Bud Light.
It's just neutral enough.
We recently hired an ex Anheuser-Busch brewmaster.
Oh,
who ran the Columbus, Ohio plant.
Okay,
and you met him, Jason.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, wow. And he suggested using Bud Light, so we said fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't have to be Bud Light.
Right.
But I like that slogan for Bud Light. Just neutral enough.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think homebrewers should take this advice. That's a good idea to try out some new hops.
It is. So. It is.
Okay. All right. Did we get this hop vodka up here?
Yep. Yeah, let's drink it right now.
Is it going around?
Taryn,
now, is this on the shelf yet?
Taryn, you're driving home, by the way.
It is, so people can get it. What's it called?
So, Mark, you're driving.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Oh, hop vodka. What a great bottle, too. Very classy.
I'll pour it there. I was going to show it on the camera.
Oh, yeah. Once it goes around. What's that, Bruce?
Try this just straight. Oh,
I'd love to try it just straight. Yeah.
Straight or
straight.
Or we brought tonic. You can have like a.
Why don't you give us a pour
vodka and tonic?
I want the tonic.
I do both.
Want straight.
Yeah, I do. I want
a
double pour.
Just give us a small pour straight, and then we can add tonic if we want.
There you go. That way we don't turn you into a bartender. You're too qualified for that.
Not as a bartender.
Give us a half inch of vodka, and then we'll pass the tonic.
Half inch.
Can you put mine in a paper bag, please? I like to drink it straight from the bag
and then just suck it off the paper bag.
Yes. How long has this been out?
It's been on the market now 2 months.
I think. Since mid-December.
Okay.
So about a month, I think.
What does the wash come from in vodka?
Irish people.
Bruce should talk about that. Bruce?
It's grain mash, usually wheat and corn.
Okay. So is it a myth then, or is it just different when people say that vodka comes from potatoes?
That's just one form of it.
It's just one form of it.
The potatoes have so much water in them, you got to use tons and tons of potatoes.
Yeah, I you know what? I'm not just regular unflavored vodka. I'm not that much of a connoisseur.
Yeah.
I mean, with a neutral spirit, we're just looking for as neutral as we can get.
Okay.
And I think
you should just distill Bud Light.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, this smells wonderful. Yeah. It's not harsh. Didn't burn my nose at all.
Oh my Lord!
And it's very hop aromatic.
It is very hop aromatic.
Yes.
You're a good word person.
Yes.
I don't need that much.
Wow. Mike's trying to get Bruce drunk over there. Gave him a cup of it.
Hey Bruce, would you mind passing me the bottle down, please?
When
so
you're brewing and
show the webcam.
When you're brewing and you open the silver foil pouch.
Yeah,
it's right. Your nose in it.
Right when you open it. That's true.
That's what this smells like.
It smells like pellet hops. That's insane.
It smells great.
Wow.
Oh, it smells lovely.
It does smell like putting your nose in the hop bag.
Can we know what kind of hops are in it?
No.
No, can't even know that. Can I ask if there are multiple varieties?
There are multiple varieties.
Okay.
And I think the one thing we can say is they're American hop varieties.
Okay. And can we get an idea of what you were looking for in how you decided which hops to use?
I think we were looking for something that was kind of clean, crisp.
Yeah.
Kind of that we probably less of the earthy notes and more of kind of a fresh, citrusy, piney
that
kind
makes
of
sense.
thing.
Piney, by the way, is a great descriptor for the aroma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys taste it yet? No. Everyone's just enjoying smelling it so much.
Smelling it.
It tastes exactly the way it smells.
I would like to douse my pillowcase in this. I just want to smell it all
I'd like
night.
to douse my penis in this.
Who's going to smell that?
No, nobody.
I see.
Everybody, probably.
You're probably right. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It tastes exactly the way it smells.
I could put this on ice and sip it out of a glass just like that.
Yeah, it's incredibly good.
I have never said that about a vodka before. I would never think of doing that. But this, you could do that.
Yeah.
Throw it in some ice and...
It was a tough job, I think, coming up with this, really.
Surprisingly tough.
We thought this was going to be, no problem.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How long did it take for you guys to get it right?
Well,
it's 6 months.
Wow.
How many batches?
It was actually almost All of last
This year, yeah.
Is
we
that right?
started it.
Well,
Working on it about a year ago.
Worth the work.
And-
I don't have a liquor cabinet at home. I think I'm going to start one. It's going to be full of this.
I need to find this. I need to find it. I need to find it right now.
Yeah, where do you have to buy it at? Just at Anchor? Or?
A distiller can't sell in California direct to the public, so you have to find it at a store. And see, we should know this stuff, but we don't.
Okay.
Give us a call. We'll let you know.
That's all right. You could probably find it through the website too. Maybe it says on there where we can go find it.
or just Googling it online. I think you could probably find it. But
okay.
Or just get a radio show and invite them in.
Exactly. Or tell your local liquor store to bring it in.
To carry it.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. It's just, is this the tonic over here, JP? Let me put a little of that in there and see what happens.
Yeah. Want some ice?
Yeah. Oh, you have ice too? I'll forego the tonic and just throw some ice in there. Perfect. Look at, he's like a mobile bar, Bruce.
Yeah, I'll take some of that.
Perfect. There we go. That's all I need. That and another glass of it. This is fantastic.
You could make like hot Bloody Marys.
Oh, Bevo. She's a genius.
That's why they keep me around.
Yeah.
We've had it in Bloody Marys. It's really good in Bloody Marys. And
you're welcome.
I think maybe on the Anchor Distilling website there might be some recipes, or there'll be some recipes for a few different drinks. I know most of those that are on there are more than I can make.
Okay.
This is like a hot vodka and tonic is kind of the
that's the extent.
Pushing the envelope on my bartending skills. So.
Right.
Now, you did good, Bruce.
Do you have any more ice, Bruce? I'll take a little bit of ice. If you got some.
I've had hop schnapps before, and I will say that this is much more hop forward than any other hop liquor I've had.
I was thinking that. I've had those hop schnapps as well. Those German, probably from the same dude from Ralph.
Yeah, and it's a pretty mild. You know that it's hops, but it's still mild. And it also carries along with it some of the off flavors that you're talking about having to avoid.
It has like darker flavors. Sometimes I think of
this is
flavors like that.
Aroma flavors.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Doc.
This is like almost all aroma flavors.
Yeah,
exactly. But you get the same flavors when you taste it. It's not just all aroma. Oh,
sure,
you're saying aroma flavors.
Yeah.
You're right.
Right. But there still is a pretty good amount of bitterness in there too.
Yeah.
Did you find in what you considered failed batches that you didn't have enough of this hop flavor you were going for?
Too many off flavors really was the problem.
See. Okay.
That we kept coming up with flavors we didn't like.
Yeah. I love this.
That's a fantastic vodka. I don't drink vodka except in my Bloody Mary.
You do now.
Yeah. Well, we have that Chipotle vodka from Hangar One that comes out every once in a while. That is fantastic in Bloodies, and I can't wait to try this in a Bloody.
Yeah, I like the Chipotle vodka too. Your camera keeps falling down, JP.
Well, it's your camera.
Right.
What tape is it?
So there's some
your tape.
There's some photos of the distillery on that same Facebook page, facebook.com/Brewing Network. You can go to the Anchor album that JP uploaded there. Your distillery itself, you have, is it 3 different ones that I'm remembering, or 2?
Correct.
It's 3.
3 different stills. Bruce, you should.
They're beautiful, first of all. I don't know. There's something about that look. They're obviously copper, and they just, I don't know. I really like the look of them. So you guys did a nice job building them. Why do you need 3 different stills?
Well, 2 of them are whiskey stills, and it's kind of the traditional setup for pot distilled whiskey, where there's one still. We mash 100% malted rye. We don't run off, so we ferment the full mash.
Okay.
And then the first still, we distill the full mash.
Wait, just so I understand. When you say you ferment the full mash and you don't run off, you mean you leave the grain and everything in there?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
That's interesting.
And if you've ever worked with rye before, it would be, I think, next to impossible to separate wort from that.
I see. Okay.
So we mash, cool, pitch yeast, and ferment that whole thing with all the solids in it. And then that first distillation is distilling distilling the mash. The second distillation, the spirit distillation, is redistilling the product from the first distillation.
Okay.
So 2 of the stills are just for the whiskey. The third still is for the London Dry Gin, the Unipro, and we also made the hop vodka in that still.
Is it a different kind of still that you need to do gin?
It's different. It's a copper pot still, but it has bubble plates and the ability to have more reflux, so you can distill to a higher proof in that still.
Oh, I see.
So you're not trying to get as many flavors as you're trying to get more of the neutral spirit out of it.
Okay.
So we can actually dissect it better with that other still.
Yeah.
And Mark was pointing out to me, because I was just so fascinated in the look of them, that you have some different tops kind of stored up above. Do different shaped tops of the still serve different functions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have we make our Dutch gin, the Genevieve, in the same stills as whiskey. And, the original gin was much like an aged whiskey with botanicals in it. And you saw the one still top that we had up there with the mushroom top. It almost looks like our normal spirit still top, but inverted, where it's wider on the top and thinner at the bottom, as opposed to the other way around.
Okay.
And we put that still top on the spirit still when we make the Dutch gin.
Oh, I see. So you do still have to swap them out when you do that.
Yeah, so our all three of our stills are the same. The flange on top is the same size, so you can bolt on any of the still tops. They're all interchangeable.
Nice.
If you want them to be. And
those were all custom made for you guys, right?
We have a person that made them.
Okay.
Are these steam fired?
They're steam jacketed, yeah.
Bruce might mention that we have different condensers, too, so we aren't really mixing product.
Yeah, we use different condensers so that...
Forgive my ignorance, is the condenser the coil part at the end?
Yes.
So you'd use a different one so that the flavors of one doesn't carry over to the other?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay, can you hand me the top
I'm not sure if you answered this already or not, but are they runoff stills or fractioning stills?
Good. Well, 2 pot stills and a fractionating still, basically.
Well, they're
all
three are pot stills.
Yeah.
So they're all a batch process. They're not a continuous still.
Yeah.
But, and when we came out with Old Potrero in 1990, we started distilling in 93, but our first whiskey was released in 1996. It was the only pot distilled whiskey in the United States. All the distilling of whiskey in the United States had gone to large column stills, the same kind of stills that vodka is made in.
So is there a benefit to the pot still, the reason you guys chose to do that?
We think it's traditional. Fritz liked the idea that it was the traditional way that whiskey is made, and we think that it tastes better.
Okay,
I'm sure in 20 years there'll be a distillery that says that they were the first. So
right,
don't worry about that.
And doesn't give Anchor the credit. That'll be weird. Yeah. They'll throw a party about it. It'll be strange. Okay. Well, good things are coming out of that. Now, I saw a distillery at Ballast Point Brewery in San Diego. I mentioned this to you guys, and I remember them talking about getting the license to do distilling at the brewery. And it seemed to me that, I don't remember if it was the ABC or the TTB, whoever, I don't remember, but they were real sticklers about them fencing off and really separating the distillery from the brewery. Did you guys run into that? It seemed to be just there in the corner.
Yeah, but you notice we have roll-up doors, so it can be sealed off.
Ah, okay.
So, yeah, the actual part that is the distillery premise is separate.
Okay, so you did have to do that as well. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and the place where we store finished product is something that's separate, and you're able to lock it up separately.
Got it. And I think there's just a room next to the distillery there. Is that your whole barrel room there?
No.
Okay. Because I was going to say, you really are limited in size.
Yeah, no, we have some barrels. Recently, we've started storing barrels off-site.
Okay.
We have another warehouse where we're storing barrels now.
Do you use the same barrels over and over?
We don't use barrels more than once. We have our one type of whiskey, we used charred barrels.
Okay.
And we used them, a second time. And for our 18th century whiskey, we'll use some used barrels. But for the straight rye whiskey, by law, it has to be all new barrels. And the majority of our 18th century whiskey is new barrels, too.
What do you do with those barrels when you're done with them?
Some of the straight rye whiskey barrels we've used for our barrel-aged ale, and then we use them again for the other type of whiskey. The 18th century, some we reuse, and the rest we've make planters out of them.
Right. We actually gave some to a man in New York who makes hot sauce. The Waterfront Ale House.
Really?
He gave him a couple, and he ages his hot sauce in them.
Oh, that's interesting.
But the best, we don't have that many, quite honestly.
Okay.
And so we either use them for the Hodeling's whiskey, if the charred barrels, or the barrel-aged beer. And we don't make much barrel-aged beer because we're trying to grow the whiskey. I mean, there's the demand. I mean, we could sell 10, 20 times, I think. But we're trying to grow the whiskey. There does seem to be a good demand for it. It's a great whiskey.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and we did move the barrel storage out of the brewery for that reason. We were just running out of room. You guys saw how crowded the place is.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys are definitely running out of space there.
Yeah.
Are there plans to expand into another building or?
Yes, we do. We own the building across the street from us. That used to be a soy sauce factory years ago.
Okay.
And
I've made beer that tastes like that.
Yeah. It's funny. They actually fermented the soy sauce there. It was an interesting process.
Oh, yeah.
But they moved over to Hayward, and Fritz bought that building with the eye on it that we'd need it in the future. But the current owners are looking at other buildings around the city. And so we haven't really settled on any one location, but it'll be in the city.
Okay.
And we will have another location.
Is it safe to say that the new owners are more apt and looking to grow and produce more beer than Fritz was?
Yes. Okay. Fritz loved the fact that he had this brewery. There was a small brewery that he knew everybody there. It was pretty much a one-shift operation. I think he always said he'd never be over 50,000 barrels. Well, then all of a sudden we hit 50,000 barrels.
Yeah.
And he was happy to grow. He always wanted to grow in small increments. He never wanted to be a big brewery, but he always wanted to be profitable.
Okay.
People used to ask him because his last name was Maytag, and it was from the Maytag family. Did he really need this? Was it a toy? And the best answer I heard him give, he said, look, I would never do anything just for fun or anything just for money. And I think that was really the way he ran his life. It had to be fun, but it had to be profitable. It was a real business.
Yeah.
And he made a good living there. And if growth came, he was happy with that.
Okay.
And the new owners think that Fritz built just a wonderful brand. We're only one of really 3 national craft brewers. And the only reason we're a national brewery is because when Fritz started selling the beer, he couldn't be profitable just selling in San Francisco. We had to branch out.
Okay.
Had we'd been starting this today, we'd probably just be a California brewery.
Regional brewery.
Yeah.
Not enough drinkers when you started.
Exactly. And so we became a national brewer, and he built a hell of a brand. And I think that the new owners see that this is a brand that's really underutilized. That there's a potential there. We have distribution system. We're great reputation, and why not take advantage of that?
Sure.
And so they do want to grow it, and they're working hard at that. They're good guys. They're both local Bay Area people that I think have a very long view, as Fritz did.
Okay.
And are investing in salespeople and marketing to grow the brand.
Okay.
It's always been one of those brands to me that you drink the beers and the limited selection they have, and you want more because it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's nice to see new beers come out.
Absolutely.
Is there any trepidation on any of your parts that once that takes place, the brand is in more places and wider distribution, that those things might be affected? The good reputation, that you don't want to monkey with that? Any trepidation?
I think we can maintain the reputation and the quality. I should say we can maintain the quality that will maintain our reputation.
Mm-hmm.
As you're growing, there are advantages. There's more movement in the brewery for young people to move up and have more of an opportunity than just working on a bottling line. When you're not growing, all us old guys, we don't want to leave yet. So we've got all these young guys waiting for us to die. So
do you think that in the break room there's a death pool going on? There's a list out there. Who do you think's at the top of the death pool?
Let's just say we all have tasters in the lunchroom.
Right. Yeah.
I'll drink it if you drink it.
Yeah.
You know, I will say this: the most confidence-building action that your new ownership has done that lets me know that they're going to continue to make sure Anchor makes good beer is that they've kept all of you on. And
exactly.
And I say that because we've all heard of brewery acquisitions lately, and people then quitting right away or getting fired or replacing brewmasters and things like that for money saving. But the crew is still with the company.
Exactly.
And I think that instills a lot of confidence in the owners, at least for me. I would imagine for you guys, too. They didn't come in and uproot everybody.
Exactly.
You know.
No, you got it exactly right.
So that's good news for the Bay Area, and I guess for the country if they get more beer, too.
Absolutely. I mean, I drink this beer every day. I'm the last one to want to see it change.
Right. That brings me to a question that came through. Will this stout, or I guess the Zymaster series for that matter, will that be available nationally?
You know, boy, I'm sorry I don't have that. It will be in major markets. I don't think it's just in California. I'm sorry I don't have that.
That's okay. But you do produce less of it.
Yes. Yeah. And it's a one-shot deal, draft only.
Oh, okay.
And so it's out now. It'll be out for a little while. Again, I should have prepared for that answer. I used to have a lot more to do with sales than I do now, and so.
Yeah, well, now you're off dicking around half the time.
That's it.
Doing what? We won't talk about it because we got a game.
That's right. But the Breckles has become a permanent beer, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
The Breckles got a great reception.
Yeah.
People liked it, and our sales department wanted it for full time, and that may happen with any of our Zymaster series. You know?
Sure.
You just have to see how they fall out, you know. But we have lots of ideas, and we have lots of creative people at the brewery. I think you're going to see some interesting stuff from us.
I'm sure of it. I am sure of it.
Well, if anything from this hop head can be taken from that, you guys are doing some interesting stuff.
Right.
Thank you.
I love it. I want more of it.
Bruce, when are you retiring? You sticking around for a while?
Yes.
You're not ready to go yet either.
No, well, I can't go.
I see.
Bruce kids in college. I need to pay for.
No, he doesn't even have in
personal problems.
Yet. He's got young kids.
Oh,
he'll be there forever.
The youngest of the flock is only 10, so I'm there for a while. Yeah,
and you've gambled away his college fund on some errant vacation to Vegas, and he needs to. I get it. I get the whole thing now.
Well, if there was a college fund in the first place, I might have. But
Can you choose what you like doing better, working in the distillery or working in the brewery? Now that you've done both, do you have a favorite?
It's been real fun with the distillery to take something, to start at the beginning, and get to this point, and I really like it. But I still love the beer side of it, and I try to stay involved with the beer side.
Okay,
and I liked it. There's a certain part of the distilling side too, because it's still a pretty small operation that it's enjoyable in that respect. And so I like both of them, and I think it's great to be able to work at a brewery and a distillery.
Absolutely,
so I'm happy that that's the situation.
And now we're coming up with the hophead new products in the distilling side. Who knows what they'll ask us to do next?
Sure. And, it's a real legacy that you have there, too. All of you, really. Mike, you said earlier that it's interesting to think about how that you've been there longer than you've not been there. But not just that. After you guys are gone, you've left a real legacy, and not everybody's career has that. You started the distillery, and however long that distillery goes on, Bruce was there doing it.
Exactly.
And I'm impressed by those things. I think there's really not a lot of careers that have that anymore, so... And even brewing careers, that even less of those that have that probably. So
it is amazing to be in a bar or restaurant and see somebody drinking a steam beer, and you had a real part in making that. Any steam beer anywhere in the U.S. or anywhere in the world.
And how many bars you can go into and see it there too. Yeah, I would be real proud of that. You should be proud of that.
And that's the challenge, to go to all those bars.
Now we know what he's doing in retirement.
There we go. He's bar hopping.
He's just bar hopping. I love it. Well, I'm glad to see that we're getting new beers out, and I'm glad to see that the old beers are carrying on too. Let me see what else I had here from the chat. Maybe what I'll do is take a break. I do have a few questions from the chat room. I want to go through them and make sure we do that. Why don't we do this? If you guys still have a little time, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll answer questions from the chat room, and we'll play the retirement game. And we're also going to see now. Mike was in the room for the questions, but Bruce wasn't. So we might get to see how well Bruce knows Mark as well. So here's what we'll do. We need 2 callers. 888-401-BEER. Give me 2 callers to play along the game. Plus, we'll do questions from the chat, and we'll have ourselves another couple beers here, and we'll let the boys go home. It's The Session. We'll be right back.
Listening to the Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
Williams Brewing is your online resource for prompt delivery of quality home brewing supplies. Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and freshest ingredients, and the best customer service in the business. Cut hours off your brewing sessions by using one of their 11 varieties of famous Williams malt extract. Their new Snap-Lock stainless steel cam-lock fittings will make connecting your pump or heat exchanger quick and easy. Or check out their exclusive paintball tank-based draft beer equipment. They even have their own line of precision hydrometers. Go to WilliamsBrewing.com to browse their vast selection. That's WilliamsBrewing.com. Orders placed by 4 p.m. Pacific Time weekdays ship the same day. Brewing is easy. The Williams way. When Michael Fairbrother started moonlighting, he had no idea how quickly his dream was going to grow. Having homebrewed for 15 years, Michael decided to go pro, but not with beer. While attending his homebrew club meetings, he saw ladies knocking their men out of the way to try his mead. Moonlight Meadery is now 2 years old and can produce 200,000 bottles a year. It's the first New Hampshire winery to ever distribute to California and Australia. In fact, you can now find Moonlight Meadery meads distributed nationwide. And they ship direct, too. They produce 56 different varieties of mead and are unlike anything you've ever seen on the market. Michael Fairbrother at Moonlight Meadery is a real success story that can make the BN Army proud. Visit Moonlight Meadery in Londonderry, New Hampshire, or online at moonlightmeadery.com. Moonlight Meadery. Romance in a glass.
That's it. I've had it. I am never putting hops in my beer again.
What? Why?
It's just too ridiculous. Insane prices, stupid contracts, high shipping costs, crappy selection.
Dude, you need Nico Brew.
Nico Brew will rock your f***ing face right the f*** off your f***ing skull. $5 shipping to all 50 states. Plus fantastic international rates get you low prices on Nico Brew's great selection of hops and more. Whether you're a home brewer, a pro brewer, or a homebrew shop owner, Nico Brew can get you the hops you need in increments big and small. Single orders, spot buys, or full contracts. And there's only one place to join the uber special secret elite bare bones club where you'll get the best deals anywhere. Holy f***ing shit! NicoBrew.com. NIKOBREW. Nico Brew, your bare bones buddy in the brewing business.
Tonight is the night.
We bring the creature to life, Dr. Blickringstein?
Yes, J.P. Gore. Everything is perfect for my next fermented creation.
My doctor, the storm is too far away. We'll never have enough power to isomerize the creature's alpha acid.
Yes, J.P. Gore, we will. For I have in my possession the Tower of Power.
Blickman's new Tower of Power is the evolution of automation. Control hot liquor, sparge, and mash temps like a pro. The Tower of Power is a high-quality gas-fired rim system that works with your current brewing setup. With ultra-precision, the tower can hold your mash to 1/2 of a degree Fahrenheit. Precision and repeatability. The Tower of Power is the answer to automatic, fast ramp times. See more at BlickmanEngineering.com. Bring your next creation to life with the Tower of Power.
Dr. Blickmanstein, with the Tower of Power, you can probably give me an afternoon at the pub to enjoy a pint.
Don't be silly, J.P. Gore. We have beer to brew.
BN Army, HopTech has a great discount waiting for you. Do you often find it difficult to find specific specialty ingredients for your homebrew recipes? Well, listen to this. HopTech stocks 59 different grains to choose from, 39 varieties of pellet hops, and 8 kinds of whole leaf hops. And HopTech not only carries Y yeast and White Labs yeast for you, but also Fermentus, 04, 5, 6, 23, 33, and T58 Belgian yeast, plus Cooper's, Nottingham, and Windsor yeasts. Got your recipe ready to go? Pick up some great brew gear like new long and short sleeved shirts, games, and more. HopTech's new website is being updated every day with new items. If you don't see it, call the shop. They're open 6 days a week. BN Army and AHA members get a 10% discount, and active military personnel get 15% off. Visit HopTech.com today for great selection, great service, and a great discount. HopTech.com.
Mix me your 100-grain amber recipe, and I'm going to eat it. And then it can ferment in my gut. It totally works. The beer is almost identical to the grain sandwich.
Your colon won't know what hit it.
The home of live beer radio. TheBrewingNetwork.com.
Because like beer,
radio shouldn't suck. You're listening to The Session.
888-401-BEER.
This is The Session.
All right, welcome back to the program. Having a little more fun at the breaks than we are even on the show here. Everyone's drinking the vodka and passing the beers around, and we got a good game going on right now. Although it occurs to me that maybe Bevo wasn't here to take the phone calls. 888-401-BEER. Call in now. We need 2 contestants. I see one ringing right now. 888-401-BEER. We'll get 2 contestants on. We're going to play the retirement game with Mark, and see what we can learn about Mark today.
Let me know when you want the song.
We were just talking about an event we went to. We had a great day on Thursday where we got to go to the Anchor Steam Brewery and hang out with the guys there for a little while, got the full tour. And then we rushed up to Santa Rosa because Russian River Brewing Company was hosting Jim Cook from Sam Adams, as well as Jack McAuliffe, who is the founder of the New Albion Brewery, one of the first craft breweries in the country. And they were releasing the original recipe of the New Albion beer, which Tasty is opening for us right now. Going to let everybody try that. I got to meet Jack. You guys know Jack?
Oh yeah, Jack and I are old friends. We got to know Jack very well when he was starting out because, for one thing, there were no other little breweries around. And then we sold him malt for quite some time.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
It was you guys and Jack at that time, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
There were a couple others, but then they came and went, unfortunately. But
I see. You guys had been obviously a little more established, were buying more ingredients. So is that how it happened that you helped Jack with malt?
Well, the story behind helping Jack with malt is that around that time in the late 70s, they had discovered nitrosamines in beer.
Are those dangerous?
I guess so.
Okay.
I think the main problem was that they invented a machine that could find them at very, very small parts per billion.
Okay.
Nitrosamines are common in bacon and ham and things. And
I
eat
a lot of bacon.
Yeah.
And your ham.
And all of a sudden there was nitrosamines in beer.
Okay,
and naturally that made the newspapers.
Okay,
because nobody likes their beer messed with, and it worried Fritz Maytag very much because in those days we had no craft brewers out there. All the major brewers in the United States all used corn or rice or corn syrup they were not all malt beers.
Okay.
So if they were to test a Hamm's compared to an Anchor Steam, the Anchor Steam nitrosamine was going to be way higher than the Hamm's. And so that was a worry to Fritz that if someone tested these beers, what would come up. And it was soon discovered that nitrosamines came from drying the malt in a direct flame. Which almost every maltster did. There was only one that we knew of that did not, and that was Coors. Coors had an indirect fired kiln. Fritz, and so consequently no nitrosamines. And so Fritz got a hold of the Coors people and asked if they would sell us malt, and they did.
Wow.
And so Fritz got a hold of Jack and said, Jack, if you want some malt, I have some nitrosamine-free malt coming in. And so until the other maltsters got their act together and were producing nitrosamine-free malt, we supplied Jack with nitrosamine-free malt.
Let me get this straight, Mark. Are you telling me that the big breweries aren't the evil of all the world and that they actually helped you out as a small brewery back in the day?
Yeah, we're in a wonderful industry. I mean, I'll bet that you've seen it yourself. If you visit a brewery, they're always open to visitors in the industry. We were never refused, I think with one possible exception, never refused entry to a brewery to technical level to really show anything that we wanted to see.
Yeah.
And we've always tried to greet other brewers in the same way because we've been treated so well over the years. Yeah.
Sure.
And so the major brewers, on the technical level, they were fabulous. Yeah.
And to sell you ingredients, I mean, that's an easy no. You're a competitor. We're not going to sell you. But that's a nice thing to do.
It really was nice. It really was.
Okay. So you guys had a relationship with Jack as well.
Yes.
Starting kind of back then. So such a great guy. He's on in the years now, and he's been out of brewing for so long. But his personality is fantastic. If you go to our YouTube page, YouTube/Brewing Network, there's the interview with myself and Jack and Jim Cook about this beer that we're tasting here. And Jack's his personality, he's the star of the show.
Yeah.
It took him all of about 2 minutes to start making fun of me. And that's gold in my book right there. I remember one question that I asked him that's in there. We spend a lot of time talking about him being the first to do this hoppy beer and it really put all these hops in it and design this hoppy beer. And we went on like that for 10 minutes or so, and at the end of it I said, what do you think of the hoppy beers coming out today? What do you think of these beers that the brewers are making? And he paused for a second, he looks at me and he goes, well, I fucking invented it, didn't I? And I just, what do you say to that? He had been talking about it for 10 minutes. I asked a stupid question. And he was great. What do you guys think of this beer?
Mike, what's the first thing you notice?
And this is the New Albion original recipe, by the way, that we're drinking.
Yeah, it's 6%. It's all Cascade.
It's clear.
Yeah.
It's yellow.
It's clear.
It's been a long time since I drank Jack beer.
Never had a clear beer.
He never had a clear beer.
No. Yeah, he was bottle conditioned. It was always with lots and lots of yeast.
I see.
So it's quite different.
It's probably silly of me to ask if you remember this beer, if it tastes like that back then. I mean, it was a long time ago that it's supposed to be his most famous beer or something.
Jack was a great guy. I think that his major contribution to craft brewing was that he started from scratch.
Yeah.
He was almost like he ramped up home brewing to a commercial level.
Okay.
And the most amazing thing about it was his brew size was 50 gallons.
Really?
Right?
I think so, yeah.
50-gallon brew size.
Yeah, a barrel and a half, I think.
But it was all bottled.
Wow.
He didn't have any draft beer. It was all bottled. And he had these wonderful wooden cases and returnable bottles. And he got all his bottles back in his wooden cases. And I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, that is. I'd like to see. I wonder if any of those cases are around with any beer nerds in somebody's basement somewhere. Yeah. That would be cool. Well, it was a fun event out there, and
it was a good time.
Yeah, we enjoyed ourselves, and Vinny was very gracious, and they were very nice to the media. They bought us pizza. We ate for free.
Yeah, we did. And we got free beers.
We got free some free beers. We got free beer. It was a good day. We got free beer at Anchor.
Right.
We had to hang out there.
Yeah.
Then we went and got free food.
Right.
I feel like I'm in college again. It was great.
Well, you had to drive, so
I was the driver. You believe that, Doc? I was the designated driver. That doesn't happen. Since when does the boss have to be the designated driver?
You designated yourself.
Yeah.
You were like, I'll drive.
What is going on around here?
When was that decided? Before you left?
Yeah, definitely before I tasted some of that great beer.
Yeah.
I did have one. Do you guys like sour beer? Are you sour beer fans at all?
I'm okay with sour beer, yeah.
Okay. I really enjoy it, and I did have a temptation up there. I couldn't. It was too tempting. I couldn't say no. But I asked. We didn't get to ask Jack because I figured Vinny had. Vinny makes all those sour beers. I said, "Do you think Jack likes sour beer?" And Vinny said, "Oh no. At the brewery earlier today, he said, if you put a sour beer in my glass, I will pour it right down this drain."
That's old school.
Yeah, it goes right down the drain.
What I did think was kind of cool was when Jim was given his speechifying about Jack and new album. He said that all of the profits from the sale of the beer are going directly to Jack.
Right.
I don't know if you covered that or not.
I didn't. That's true.
Which I thought it was cool.
They are donating the profits to Jack. Jack's been out of the industry and for that matter, not reaping the benefits of a wonderful industry for years. And it's a big chunk of change too. I can't say the number, but it's a big chunk of change.
Yeah, it's a national release,
and it's nice to see that Jack's getting that cash, getting a little cash.
He fucking invented it. Damn it!
Yeah. There you go.
Hopefully, you can get a hooker or something.
All right, it looks like we've got a couple callers on the line here. Are we ready to play the retirement game?
Yeah, we're ready. Are you ready for the theme song?
Are we ever?
We have to have a theme song. Now that I got this stupid thing.
Yeah, we're ready. You know who's ready? Bruce is ready for the theme song.
All right, here we go.
Why don't you do that while... Wow.
The retirement game. It's the retirement game. Oh, yeah, the retirement game. Time to find out what Mark does. Oh, yeah, what Mark does. So grab a beer and get ready for the retirement game. Retirement game.
That's right. It's the retirement game right here on the Brewing Network with Mark Carpenter, our first ever retirement game. We're going to play again in 15 years when Bruce is ready to retire.
So we'll have to hear that song again for 15 years?
Mike will be first.
Mike's first. All right, in 14 years, we'll play it again. Anything I need to know about these audio clips? Just to pause it after the question.
You got about a second.
About a second in between.
A whole second?
All right, let's get our contestants on the air, and then
Scott, your first second's free.
No, nothing's free with him.
Any other second, you got to pay for him.
Get some callers on, and then I'll explain the rules. All right, it looks like we have Ellis on line one. Ellis, is this you?
No, he's on line 2. I screwed that up.
Ah, Jesus.
I fixed it, though. Like, if you would read them in the order that I sent them, it makes sense.
Well, Ellis sounds like Bevo.
Bevo has one job.
And I fuck it up every week. I know. Can you just work with me here?
All right, it looks like Nicole's Vajun is on line 1.
Thank you.
Uh-oh, Bevo.
Hello, everybody.
Got all aggro on this person.
Hello, Nicole's Vajun.
Hello.
Are you ready to play the retirement game?
It's retirement game.
Absolutely.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. Actually, let me do my other caller here too, and we'll get everybody on the line at once. This one is Ellis. Hey, Ellis, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, guys?
Going all right. Okay. So here's how the retirement game works. We've asked Mark 9 questions about what he's doing with his time now that he's in retirement, and you guys are going to have to guess the answers. If you guess the answers right, we'll give you a point. I'm going to give each of you one lifeline. Your lifeline is either Bruce or Mike. So if you're stumped on an answer, you're going to get one chance to ask his coworkers who have worked with him for several decades. So hopefully they know a little bit about the man. Is all that clear?
Which one is Lou Ferrigno?
Lou Ferrigno is Bruce. Bruce Ferrigno, as he will now be known. And I can't hear it. And he can't hear it.
Well, yeah, because you're deaf today.
You might need to put your headphones on to hear the questions, yeah. Okay, so what we'll do is I will play the question. Moscow did a brief interview with Mark at the brewery. I'll play the question, and then we'll hold off on Mark actually giving the answer, and we'll see if you guys can get it right. Does that all sound clear enough?
Choice, or we're just pulling a question?
Some of them will be multiple choice, although I'm realizing we didn't do much preparation for that, so I'm just going to make shit up as we go, I think, to get the multiple choice part. I'll decide on the fly which ones are too difficult to answer straight, and then I'll make up multiple choice. Does that sound good enough?
Tempo.
That sounds good.
I mean, that's how we roll. Who's surprised about that? Really? The Brewing Network's not prepared? Okay, here we go. Let's get our first question done here. No. I'm already screwing it up.
Retirement game.
Retirement game.
Apparently the chat thinks that song was bullshit.
It was great.
I thought it was awesome.
I'm going to have to agree with the chat.
I think you did a good job.
Yeah, well,
I think it could be polished a little bit more. But
maybe a little, but it's for the first one out.
Just a little bit.
JP should have to auto-tune everything he says for the rest of the night.
I can do that.
Yeah, don't say that because it could get ugly fast. I think it was a nice job. I thought it had a nice beat.
It did.
You could dance to it.
You could, but you wouldn't.
No, Sam might.
All right, let's try this again. Here's the first question.
You woke up at 4:45 when you were working. What time do you wake up now?
All right. So on his days that he's not at work, what time does Mark wake up? This is not multiple choice. Nicole's Vajun, go ahead.
8:30.
All right, going with 8:30. Ellis wakes up at 4:45 when he's working. Now that he's retired half the time, what time does he wake up?
I'd say about 5 to 5.
He sleeps in for an extra 10 minutes.
I think so.
All right, both good guesses. Let's find. See, I would have gone with the man sleeps all day now. He's been waking up early his whole life. Let him sleep in till noon. Maury doesn't start until 1 o'clock.
Hey, coming from another old guy,
yeah.
Coming from another old guy, you don't sleep in.
It sticks with you early.
If you 6:30 comes up, man, you slept in.
Wow.
Justin's projecting.
Okay. Yeah. All right, let's find out. The answer is
7.
He sleeps in a whole 2 hours. 7 a.m. Both of you are wrong.
Are we asking Bruce these questions?
Bruce, did you know the answer to that? You didn't.
No, I didn't.
I should do that. After we get their answers, we'll get the crew's answers. You're right. Thank you, JP.
What would you have guessed, Bruce?
5:45.
Right. 5:02.
You can lie at this point.
Right.
Yeah,
Sleep-
7.
Sleeping in may be a bad description because at my age you're up all night. Back to sleep, up and down, but I don't get out of bed till 7 when I'm home.
Got it.
Do you sleep?
He leaves the clubs at 3:30.
Do you set the alarm?
No.
All right. Here's the next one. One thing that Mark does now that he's semi-retired is walk. So here's the question.
How many miles a day are you walking in your retirement?
All right. How many miles do you think old Mark walks? And by old, I mean old Mark, How old are you? Are we allowed to know
69.
that? Oh, he's not even that old.
I don't know.
69.
I guarantee you that this man can walk farther than I can.
Well, yeah. Well, he's a professional.
Yeah. All right, we'll go with Ellis this time. And don't forget, you each have a lifeline, but you got 9 questions to get through. I'm going to make this one multiple choice. Does he walk 2 miles? 4 miles? 8 miles? Or 10 miles? Ellis.
Jesus. 4 miles. I'll go with 4.
All right. Nicole's Vajun. 2, 4, 8, or 10?
I guess 4.
Both of them going with 4. Bruce, how many miles do you think he walks?
0.2.
He makes it from the front door down to the car.
I was thinking bed, bathroom, refrigerator, TV.
Right.
And back again.
Well, it sounds like all night that bed to bathroom walk adds up back there.
Amen.
Mike, you have a guess there? How many miles you think he walks? Oh, you were in the room, too. You might already know.
Don't tell him that.
Okay. He walks 4 miles a day.
Oh!
Yeah, that's a tie game. Point for each of them.
Hey, Jay, I hate to interrupt the game, but the feed from JTV is not picking up the audio from the game. I don't know if that's something we can fix now.
It's on your end there.
I mean, they can hear everything else going on. They just literally can't hear the recorded audio. So I don't know if it's something you can fix now, but
No, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't fix that now.
So if you can repeat them,
I can do that.
All right.
This one, I'm going to skip question 3. So it's now an 8-question game. Question 3 is too open-ended. There's no way they're going to get that right.
Tell us anyway.
What color is Mark's favorite on a Thursday?
It's like that. It's beige. It's what's the biggest.
Magenta.
It's what's the biggest surprise about retirement. I mean, it could be anything. It could be the size of Oprah.
No, it's that he thought he would have so much more time, but he's now more busy than he ever was.
Right. It could be so many things. I just don't think they have a chance of getting it. We'll leave it as a bonus question. If we have a tie, then that'll be our tiebreaker. You'll have to come in and do something nearly impossible. All right. Here's the next question.
What activity do you do most in your spare time?
Okay. Activity you do most in your spare time.
Like, that's not open-ended.
I'll make this one multiple choice. I'll make this one multiple choice as well.
Right.
Is it golf, chess, horseback riding, or bingo?
Motherfucker.
And Nicole Svajun, we're going to go with you first. Is it golf, chess, horseback riding, or bingo?
Or motherfucker.
Nicole.
It better be golf.
All right, Nicole Svajun is going with golf. Ellis?
He's demanding golf.
Well, I don't want to steal his answer, so I'll say, what was the horseback riding? What was the other ones?
Bingo, chess, golf, horseback riding.
I'll go chess, just for the hell of it.
All right. Bruce, what does he do most in his spare time?
I know this one.
Go ahead.
Horseback riding.
It's horseback riding. Here's the man himself.
Horse riding.
Yeah, he's a horse rider.
Not only well, are we getting into the detail of that?
Yeah.
Hey, I thought you said bareback riding. I didn't hear.
That's too old for condoms.
That's a different kind of connotation.
What kind of horse riding do you do, Mark?
Well, I do two types. I do a lot of trail riding, but for 6 months of the year, I do team pinning, which is two people on a team separate one cow out of a herd of 10 and move them down to a smaller pen, and the fastest time wins. And we do it on Saturday nights, and you drink beer and chase cows. It couldn't be better.
That sounds great. What is considered a fast time?
20 seconds is a good time.
Holy what?
Beaver would get caught.
Really picking a cow out of the crowd and corralling it essentially in 20 seconds?
If you that's a good time. That's a good time. Very often we don't hit it. You know, it's the cow may not do what you want, but but that would be a good time. Yeah.
Do you lasso
Believe it or
things?
not, in Texas, I've seen that happen.
No, I don't. I don't lasso.
You don't know. Do you know how to lasso?
You know, I've tried to learn, and I can do it a little bit, but no, I've never been a roper. Although I find that fascinating, especially the heeler.
What's the heeler?
The guy who throws the rope to get the two hind feet.
Two back legs.
Oh.
Because, I mean, you have to lay it on the ground, anticipate where their feet's going to be. I just think...
Oh, I see.
I've always found that really fascinating.
Okay.
But I love pinning, and it involves a lot of beer, so...
That's a good... So there's no... you don't get a DUI on your horse inside that ring.
Exactly.
It's fine. You could be over the limit.
I thought he said teen pinning.
Teen pinning? That was in his younger...
That's my other hobby.
It involves a lot of beer, too.
Right. Yeah.
That's my other hobby, he says.
Oh, yeah, way to ruin the next question.
And he's 69 years old.
Right.
The jokes write themselves.
All right. It's a tie game. Nobody scored on that last one. Let's go on to the next question. Here we go.
Except for Mark.
What body part has been replaced in the last year?
An entire body part has been replaced on the poor man within the last year. This is not multiple choice. Ellis, which body part do you think he's had replaced?
I'll go hip.
Going with the old hip.
He's falling and he can't get up.
All right, Nicole Svajun, what do you think?
I'm thinking knee.
The knee. All right.
Yeah,
Mike, you know the answer to this. Bruce, you must know too, right?
No. Liver?
Knee.
All right, let's play it.
Knee.
My knee, my left knee.
That's right. He's had his left knee replaced.
It's changed my life.
Has it?
Yeah, man, it's good.
I'll tell you what. First of all, let me start by telling you that I'm a mess. After the Anchor tour and walking up and down the stairs, my knee hurt for 2 days. Yeah. So I can understand. I don't know what happened.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
You're insane.
My knee was cracking and hurting for 2 days.
Geriatric.
Just so you guys know, Justin's 26.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a point for Nicole's Vajoun. That's 2-1.
Close.
All right. Let's go to the next question. Here we go.
What is the total number of animals you own?
Of all types?
I have to remember the answer myself. I'm going to show you a number, and you have to tell me if that's right. Okay, so I'll do this multiple choice.
What was the question again? How many animals do you own?
How many animals does he own? So this includes if they're house pets or farm any animals that the man owns,
excluding humans.
Right.
And he doesn't sell many.
Humans?
Wait for they die.
Okay. Are you ready? Is it 5, 10, 30, or 50? 5, 10, 30, or 50. Ellis, we're going to start with you this time. How many animals do you think he owns?
I'll go with 30.
All right.
It's a lot of animals.
Nicole's Vajoun, what do you think?
Do chickens and fish count?
Yeah.
Animals.
Fish.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go on the upper end, too, then.
So 5, 10, 30, or 50?
The upper end.
That's a lot of fish. Probably 30.
All right, you're both going with 30. Let's find out the answer. Bruce, do you know the answer to this one? You don't say it if you know it.
Don't say it?
But do you think you know it?
I think I do.
Okay. All right. Then. Whisper it to Mike so you can't cheat. And then I'll play the answer. Here we go.
Yeah, 49. You're wrong.
So he almost went with 49. He came back. He said, "No, I forgot the pig. It's 50." Neither of you got a point. Mike, did Bruce know it?
Yes, he did.
He got the 50. All right.
So what animals are they?
Dogs, cats, chickens. Chickens are the big number.
Chickens.
No fish.
Yeah, fish.
Actually, there are fish. Yeah.
Well, you
Koi
didn't
pond.
You didn't count the fish.
It's more than 50.
We're talking like 70 with the fish.
Oh,
you didn't count the fish?
We excluded fish. It's 50 without the fish. That's true.
50 plus fish.
Right. And a pig. Don't forget the pig.
And the pig.
Do you eat any of these animals that you own?
No. My wife has a little egg business that she has a lot of fun with, but I've always named my property Useless Acres because animals come there to retire.
Yeah, once you name them, you can't eat them.
Right.
No. She would never cook a chicken. So all these chickens, when they get beyond laying age, they just retire there and stick around.
Yeah,
I see. Okay.
And they get bitchy, too. like any old hen.
All right, we got 3 questions left in the game here. Here we go. Here's your next one. Both of you still have a lifeline.
How many taps are on your home bar?
All right.
How many taps
How many
are on
taps?
your home bar?
Yeah, so the man who's been brewing at Anchor for this long, I'll do multiple choice. Does he have 0 taps, 2 beers on tap, 6 taps, or 10 beers on tap? The brewmaster for Anchor. We'll go with Nicole's Vajoun this time first. 0, 2, 6, or 10.
I'd like to go with Ferrigno on this one.
Using a lifeline.
Lifeline. All right.
Bruce Ferrigno is in. Don't give your answer yet because we need to, in case we can't have Ellis stealing. So we'll move on to Ellis and see if he wants to answer or use his lifeline. Ellis?
Well, I'll have to use my lifeline, I guess.
Okay.
Use me, I was there.
So, do you want to use Mike, Ellis?
Sure.
I would do that if I were you. Okay. Each one of their answers will stand as your final answer. Bruce, how many beers does he have on tap?
So White Zinfandel in a box doesn't count?
No, that does not. He's got box wine, though, does he?
0.
That's a tap.
Yeah, that's true. But it's not beer on tap. All right, Bruce says 0, and Mike Your answer?
0.
All right, let's find out. 0. That's right. 0 taps at home. That's a point for each of you. Why no beer on tap?
We've just never given the employees draft beer. It just usually turns into a nightmare later on because it's too foamy or something. So we have bottles, and I like having the bottles at home, and that's fine.
Okay. All right.
I thought that was a great question until I heard the answer 0. Like, oh, that threw a monkey wrench.
The trick, yeah.
Yeah. 2, 4, it could be anything, but when you say 0, ooh.
All right. Both of you have used your lifeline. You have 2 questions left, and Nicole Svajun is in the lead by 1 point. Here's your next question.
Who wants you to continue working more, your wife or your friends?
All right. So who wants him to stay at Anchor more? Is it his wife or his friends? We'll go with Nicole Svajun this time.
I think it's Ellis's turn first, friend.
All right, fine. Ellis, go ahead.
Wow, fair play all around.
Can we get the anthem again? You're going to go with the wife wants him to work more. Yeah. All right. See, he's listened to you for about an hour and thinks his wife doesn't want you around very often, Mark. How's that work?
Well, she married you for better, for worse, but not for lunch.
All right. Nicole Svajun, what do you say? Friends or wife?
Other than wife?
Sorry? Friends? His friends or his wife?
Who want him more around?
What?
Oh, I think it's the friends want him to keep working.
Okay, thank you. You all right, JP? All right, let's find out the answer. Who wants him to work more?
My friends.
His friends. Of course, it's the beer, right?
Free beer.
Right.
My wife doesn't drink beer.
Oh, she doesn't at all?
She does from time to time.
That's the box
but
of
not
Zinfandel.
like my friends.
Right. I think he says that's his wife's box of Zinfandel when Bruce comes over, but Bruce knows whose Zinfandel that is.
It's just so easy with that little tapper.
All right. That's another point for Nicole Svajun. There's only one question left, which means, and we'll do the last question anyway, but it does mean that Nicole Svajun is our winner. Yeah. All right. We'll have you both play the last round anyway, just for fun. Where is my favorite question of all of them? Isn't even in here, Moscow. What is? Well, I'll do
which one?
Let's do this one anyway, and then I'll tell you which one my favorite one is.
You started brewing at Anchor in what year?
In what year did Mark start? Nicole, we're going with you on this one. Nicole Svajun.
1982.
With 82. And Ellis?
86.
Wow. Do you both know the answer to this, Bruce and Mike? Yeah. Let's hear it from Mark first.
1971.
71.
Wow.
They were both more than 10 years off.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
71.
Because these guys, there was no life before 1980s.
Right.
It did not exist.
It did not exist.
All right, I'll tell you. Here's what I'm going to do. I'll just ask the question since it's not here, and it's not going to be multiple choice. If Ellis gets this one right, I will let him be the winner.
Oh, my goodness.
I will take away all of Nicole's points, Nicole Svajun's points, and give them all to Ellis if he can answer this one question. Now, I will give Nicole Svajun the chance to counter, so he can win it back. We've already talked about horseback riding. What other hobby does Mark Carpenter like to do the most?
That question that is in there, by the way. You skipped it earlier in the game.
Oh, I see. That's the one. Got it.
Walking.
All right. Ellis says walking.
Walking.
Mark, what other activity do you do?
A skydive.
The man's a skydiver.
Oh, my God.
See, that's why I was going to give all the points to Ellis, because who the hell would guess that?
Right.
That guy's knee doesn't even work.
Oh, it's new. It
works now.
Yeah.
I see.
Do you skydive while horse riding?
I haven't done that yet.
That's what I wanted to know.
Now, did you just pick this up since you've retired, or?
No. I started with that when I was 19 years old in 62.
Okay. Got it.
Pull up your email, Jay. I forwarded you a picture of Mark skydiving.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I saw that. You're in like formation.
Yeah, so back in the biplane days.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that the first thing you jumped out of? Was it a Zeppelin?
Yeah, I will say that hot air balloon. Some French guy had this hot air balloon.
The golden age of ballooning.
Yeah.
Right.
Him and the Red Baron are pals.
It was either Orville or Wilbur that took him up.
Mark's like, I met these guys, the Wright brothers, and they took me up.
They were right.
One of them was pedaling feverishly, and the thing lifted right up.
Oh, poor Mark. See, I didn't warn you about this.
Yeah.
We'd really abuse you at the end of the program.
That's
fine. We're ageist.
But you've been doing this since you were 19.
Correct.
Wow.
And there's been gaps where I haven't done it on a regular, not for a couple of years. But first 10 years of skydiving, I did it a lot, and then I had raised a family, and I'd only do it from time to time with friends. And in the last 12 years, I'm back at it, doing it every other weekend.
Every other weekend?
Yep, we try to do it.
Do your chances of dying jumping out of a plane increase the more often you do it?
I don't think so. I think it's probably the same every time. But the sport today is so much different than when I was young. It's unbelievable. I mean, we used to have to sit in a plane for an hour to get to altitude. Now we have one plane that I jump out of. You're up there in 10 minutes, you know. And, and the equipment is so much better. You can actually fly these things. We used to jump with parachutes that you had very little control over, you know, and now you can have lots of control and great gear and great airplanes. It really is a lot of fun.
Okay. Any near misses? Any harrowing experiences?
Any brown underwear?
The only one of any note is very early on. I was following a couple guys out of the airplane, and my leg got caught under the seat of the airplane, and I was hanging out of the airplane by my leg.
Hence your bad knee.
Wow.
Actually, see, this is the interesting part. That's actually my good knee. But and there was one guy left in the plane. He helped me back in. But that knee kept me out of the Army when they drafted me and kept me out of Vietnam. And so that knee may have saved my life.
Right. Wow. Well, it certainly helped us drink great beer, didn't it? Because it could have been a wholly different career.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you weren't here...
When we offered to take JP skydiving.
Will you take JP? They don't.
Sure,
listeners don't
problem.
like him very much.
No, I don't want to go skydiving. There's no way.
No, you can't do it?
No. Are you kidding me? It's insane.
He can't even go to the airport.
That's an activity for an insane person. No offense, Mark, but you have to be nuts.
How many jumps have you done?
I don't know. It's somewhere around 2,000.
Really?
No. I don't do anything 2,000 times.
Wow.
Now, I think you do.
And have you ever had to use the backup chute?
You know, it's very uncommon, but I never have.
Okay.
But for the amount of jumps I have, you should probably have used it once or something. But no, I've never had.
Yeah. See, under 2,000, you should use your backup chute once? No.
Right.
No, that's not for me. Crazy?
Yeah. Now, so I've done it once, and I've told this story on the air. It was really an amazing experience. But for me, there is the moment where you know whether or not you're going to live or die, right? Or it's about to happen, and it's the moment where I had to do it tandem because I'm lazy, and so I strapped to this dude, and there's the moment where I know he's about to pull because he taps you on the shoulder and he tells you he's going to pull the cord, and for me, at that moment, and I was very, very conscious of it. This is the moment I get to learn whether I live or die. If I feel a strong tug and this whole situation slows down, I get to live. If I don't, I'm fucked.
It's a teaching moment.
And it was terrifying.
Yeah.
In a fun way, it was a terrifying moment.
Yep.
I mean, you are sort of messing with your life, don't you think?
Well, yes, I guess so. But it's just a fun hobby. And you're absolutely right. When Art jumps over and I throw out my pilot chute, I'm always waiting. I want to feel that tug.
Right.
And you want to feel it pretty quickly.
That's what I mean. You could kid yourself and maybe tell your wife, no, but it has to go through your mind for a second.
Oh, sure, every time.
Yeah.
But when you left the plane, if you were nervous going up in the plane, as soon as you go out the door, I'm sure you were just completely calm. I mean, because
are you insane? I was screaming like a 13-year-old girl. It was intense. It was that's a terrible descriptor, but I don't have another word. It was so intense, and I literally I jumped out and went, for however many seconds. No, I was not calm at all. I wouldn't say I was fearful. I was not afraid.
Yeah.
It was exhilarating, and it was very intense. But it was anything but calm.
Like a roller coaster.
What, you're calm? What, are you reading a book when you jump out of the plane? You're calm?
Oh, absolutely. Because, you're out there, and the fun of it is the falling part, you know, the free fall, where you can actually move around. You can go forward, backwards, sideways. And these days, there's all kinds of different disciplines for skydiving. There's head down and wingsuit and all that.
Yeah.
I do what we call relative work or formation skydiving. Because I'm an old dog. I'm not going to learn the new tricks, and fortunately, there's enough old guys around that we still do this skydiving where we'll go out as a group and then get together and then change formation.
Okay.
Do you know anybody who's ever died
No.
skydiving?
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean,
see, it happens.
It happens, but that can happen to anyone, anytime.
Driving in a car.
He's old. He probably has friends that die every day.
Well, that's a very good point. You get to my age, and it's a sad situation that you're
right.
That if you don't go, your friends are going to.
Yeah, but why?
At least you're going to doing something fun. Have you ever thought of base jumping?
No, base jumping it hasn't really interested me.
Because you're sane.
No,
because you don't get the free fall. Although I know some young kids that base jump, and I've seen videos of the base jumping, and yeah, it could be really exciting. It'd be a real adrenaline rush, but it's not something I like the free fall.
It's that knee. You can't get the momentum going off the building.
I would like to know if there's any other brewers out there that skydive, because there's all these records that go on for the number of people that get together in a formation, which is a huge number. But then they'll have records for the number of people over 40, or the number of people over 70 or 80 or 60.
Okay.
How about the people drinking an Anchor Steam as they're going down?
Ah, right.
But if we could get a group of brewers out there, we could set a record real easily.
Number of brewers?
Yeah.
Two.
Yeah, two.
Yeah, you probably already hold the record.
I don't see Bruce or Mike volunteering real fast.
Bruce, Mike, you guys ever jumped out of a plane?
Hell no.
No.
I've jumped off the tarmac and run to the terminal, but that's just because you flew into Burbank. But, yeah.
All right, any brewers out there, contact Mark Carpenter. He needs some other brewers. What's the question, caller? Did I hear a question about a jump?
Oh, sorry. No, I just said Bruce turns green and just jumps. He doesn't have to jump out of the airplane.
All right, guys, Nicole Vajoun was our winner. Here's what, you're going to get the grand prize, which is actually, we're going to give you an Anchor Steam prize pack, which will be a t-shirt and a hat, but also, if you're ever in the San Francisco area, they're going to give you 5 spots on the tour. So you don't have to do the waiting list. You don't have to do anything. We'll have your name logged at the brewery. All you have to do is call up and say your name, and you'll have 5 spots for you and your buddies on an Anchor tour. You don't have to wait in line. That's awesome. Or call in early. And Ellis, we're going to give you a prize pack as well, just for playing. So everybody email your addresses to jp@thebrewingnetwork.com, jp@thebrewingnetwork.com, and we'll get you your prizes. Thank you for playing with us.
Since when do we do participation trophies? Get out of here with that. Come on.
Nah, they brought extra swag. We got to give it away. And
it's that medal for showing up.
Yeah.
Hey, just because it's funny, Justin, do you remember we played a game when you went skydiving? What is the last thing Justin is going to scream on his way down when the chute doesn't open? Do you remember what it was?
I don't remember.
I do.
I wish I worked at Anchor Steam.
I don't think that was one of the contestants. Bevo, what was it?
I'm sure it was. I think it was something like I never got to touch Bevo's boobs. Or never saw Bevo's boobs.
I never got to see Bevo's boobs.
Yeah.
A close runner-up was "Don't let JP run the Brewing Network."
Right. Was that our Twitter game that day?
I think so.
Something? Yeah. All right. Well, that's fun stuff. And congratulations on partial retirement.
It's been great. I've had a great career and still having it, so life is good for me.
Yeah.
Thank God.
The best of both worlds. You still get to hang out at the brewery, and you get a little time to yourself.
Exactly. Wasn't there a question about him? What did he believe he'd not see in retirement?
The question that I skipped was...
what's the biggest surprise?
The biggest surprise about retirement.
I think the answer, there was two things that just how quickly the day goes. That was really a shock. And the second thing, almost as much as just this responsibility lifted off my shoulders. This has been fabulous, because if I'm not at the brewery, I can't be responsible on a day-to-day basis, and so these guys have to pick up the slack. So that's been really nice.
So what you've given up in stress, Mike has picked up.
Exactly.
Is what you're saying, yeah.
No, it's
absolutely.
But a lot, now you say that you get to worry less, but a lot of people, even though you can't control it, still sit at home and worry. You're not doing that?
Well, of course you do it a little bit, but you can't. You just It's like when your kids finally leave home. You
throw a party.
You throw a party, and if they're living at home, you worry where are they at night and whatnot. Once they're out of the house, you can't worry about that anymore.
Yeah.
Mike says that him and Bruce are the kids.
Right. You guys now have the keys to the brewery, and it's getting ugly over there.
Yeah, get all your friends over.
No parties, Mike and Bruce. We won't.
They're too old to be left home alone.
A couple questions. I said I'd get to our chat room questions. Bruce, this one's for you. Are you using runoff stills or fractioning stills? Do we know the answer to that? Doc, do you know what the difference of those are?
I think we talked a little bit about it. Right?
Yeah,
fractioning.
I don't know exactly what they mean by fractioning.
Continuous.
Continuous is no, they're not doing that. They basically have pot stills.
Yeah, we have pot stills.
But do you have a fractionating column on one so you can?
We do have the column with bubble plates where you could control.
That's a fractionator.
Yeah, we can control in our one still the amount of reflux.
Okay,
and the other one's just whatever comes over and you do in temperature.
The two whiskey stills are traditional whiskey stills. So if you look inside the head of the still, it's hollow. So it's influenced by the shape of the still, and there's really no manipulation of it after that.
Okay. Got it. We did how many jumps? He said over 2,000.
I'm still wow about that one.
Oh, here's another distilling question. Have you ever tried to use 5 or 10 gallon barrels in order to move the whiskey faster? I guess for the aging process?
We experimented. We have experimented with smaller barrels, not that small.
Okay.
And
what's the theory there? That the more surface area?
More surface area. So you're getting
more oaky into it faster.
More extraction of wood flavor.
Okay.
We tried smaller barrels and didn't really like them. And we use kind of the traditional size for the American whiskey industry, which is 53-gallon barrels.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I could add something to that, we use our barrels are made for us to our specifications. Bruce has attended almost every production. I think he's only missed one, but we've always had someone from the brewery at every production of our barrels, and watching them to make sure they're charred to the certain amount we want or toasted to the certain amount, because we do such small batches that if one barrel were out of spec, it could really change that batch. So we really have a hands-on approach. I mean, that's a whole nother topic that you may want to talk to Bruce about someday. Just watching these things when they actually burst into flame and the flames shoot up like 20 feet. I mean, it's really something. But we're not just buying barrels. We're there watching those barrels being made.
What cooperage do you use? Is it local?
It's
like Napa-ish?
We're not talking about that these days, are we, Bruce? We
don't say the actual cooperage, but it's not local.
It's not local. It is American oak, and it's.
You have to jump out of a plane to get there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a very secret location. There's no roads,
and everybody's got the same last name.
Right.
Well, and it's not the same line that most charred barrels are charred on.
No, our barrels are made on a good point, Mike. Our barrels are made on a traditional wine line where they're actually toasting the barrels over a wood fire. The mass-produced charred barrel for the bourbon makers is just steamed wood bent to shape and then a propane flame actually charring it.
Okay.
By heating it slowly over a wood fire and then letting it burst into flame on its own, makes quite a difference in the outcome of the barrel.
Okay.
Well, and I would think in a smaller barrel, you get more one-dimensional flavors. I mean, you get more flavor in a short amount of time, right? But just because you have more surface area,
not the same.
It's not the same because you want that product to leak in and get the deeper levels of the char, right? I don't know how it is with whiskey, but I would imagine for beer it's the same thing. If you do it's like chips versus oak cubes,
right? Yeah, different complexity. That makes sense. There's probably some chemical changes that happen over time too. Well, it's not just
because if you have a cube, you have more layers of that char, right? So the booze or the beer or whatever will get in deeper into the wood and get the varying flavors versus that one level of char.
So you're saying cougar over teenager?
Yes.
I would never say that.
But that's what he meant.
How dare you?
Yeah, you were describing it.
Yeah.
Here's another distilling question. Someone he says, I've always wondered if you distill a hoppy beer like a double IPA, is the hop flavor intensified in the distillation? Does it become overly bitter? What happens then?
Yeah, we haven't really
you haven't done it.
Distilled beer, but
well,
you
guys are so afraid of. I have this feeling that this nice guy Mark we know that behind closed doors he's like a dragon.
No, he's the Gestapo. He's got that black uniform.
Just, there's so many projects that we've done that we haven't really wanted to talk about.
Sure,
but
I understand.
But in the one I'm referencing, I think there's enough people doing it now that you could give your impression.
Yes.
It intensifies.
That's the thing with distilling is it's intensifying of all flavors, and that's one thing that you have to be conscious of is that something that in balance in a beer, if you distill it, you could really intensify it to like an unpleasant level.
Got it.
So one thing that I think is if you do distill beer like the dark malt, it's pretty easy to make that,
intensify those
over the top. Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. Good answer. And Mark won't kill you.
I'm going with him. Yes.
Yeah. Make sure I don't miss anything here. I guess another question that came through, it sounds like it's a long question, but it sounds like what he's really getting at is, has Anchor made beers in the past that aren't being made anymore? And do you miss any of those? Yeah,
that's a good question. And Mike and Bruce.
Spruce beer.
Oh, there you go. Mike, you're talking about the spruce beer.
Not Bruce beer, but spruce beer?
Bruce beer.
Where you used what, spruce tips or whatever they are?
We did, it was for a special event. And Mike hated it.
You don't miss this one.
No.
Okay.
We only made it once.
It was a one-time thing, and I think it was for the
GABF.
The 10th,
the
10th anniversary or the 15th anniversary of the Great American Beer Festival.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. And I always remember Fritz at the time said if we're only going to do it once, if we're going to err on the amount of spruce, it should have too much rather than too little.
Exactly. Yeah. A great intention.
Okay.
If you liked Ritzina, you would like this beer.
If spruce tips were hugs, they would turn into an orgy.
Right. What was funny, though, it was surprisingly, I was at JBF that year, and I think it ran about 50-50, people loving it or hating it. There seemed to be no middle ground.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes sense, actually. Okay, so nothing else on that list of...
Well, I did say the only beer we made was Anchor Steam Beer, which was true, but we actually made a steam beer and a dark steam beer. And the dark steam beer was made by adding caramel color to the steam beer. And it was only sold on draft. It was a product that Fritz inherited when he bought the brewery. It was not his style at all. Our porter was created so we could have a real dark beer made with grains and whatnot.
Okay.
But the caramel, the beer with the caramel coloring was sold at a few bars, and it was always kind of a funny thing that every once in a while this one bar in particular would call and say the beer wasn't dark enough.
Right.
And so we had these old Golden Gate kegs where you'd fill through a bunghole, and so all we did was say, okay, we'll give you more dark beer, and you just pour in more caramel coloring. It was just kind of a silly thing.
No flavor difference.
No. Actually, you could get enough caramel coloring in there that might it would change it slightly. But No, not a lot.
How long did that beer last?
That was
for you guys.
1973, 72 or 3. 73 was the porter was created.
Okay.
And so that's when we got rid of the dark beer.
What kind of car were you driving in 1973, and was it larger than this room?
A Gremlin.
That's interesting because in 73 I was recently married and trying to buy I think it was a little Toyota wagon, a little red Toyota wagon.
Look at you, you pioneer.
Yeah.
You went with those newfangled Toyotas back then.
It wasn't a Pinto?
And that was a good car.
No, I did have a Pinto.
I thought you might have a Pinto.
Yeah, but in the 70s, isn't that a sin to not buy an American car? The big boat with a truck to fit a house into?
Yeah, it was San Francisco. You were okay with that.
You're fine.
The Pinto I had, I wound up cutting the top off of it. It was a Pinto wagon.
I was going to say it's probably a Pinto wagon. It was yellow.
It was actually kind of a red color.
I never would have accused Mark Carpenter of being white trash until this moment. He cut the roof off of a Pinto.
It was quite an experience. I put a chop saw blade on a weed whacker and had my had my daughter standing there with the garden hose in case we caught fire.
Holy cow! I got you, Daddy. Don't worry. You're a San Franciscan redneck.
It's a Pinto. It was supposed to catch fire.
Right. That was probably the least chance of it catching fire. Who did have a giant car in the 70s? Come on. One of you did. Doc did? What did you have?
I had a Chevy Impala 4-door 69.
Okay.
Nice.
That's a big one.
It was huge.
Bruce, you didn't have a giant car? You look like a giant car guy.
When I started working at the brewery, I had a 69 LTD.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I had all my friends, we kind of glommed together with the Big Ugly White Car Club. we had a Olds Delta 88. We had big Ford station wagon with the
wood siding,
the paneling on the side,
and the backward seat in the back.
Yeah, the backward seat was the best. I remember my uncle had that.
It's the best.
Yes, it is the best.
You could see your death coming.
Right. Okay, I think that covers the questions from our listeners. We've had these poor guys for a long time. We've abused Mark enough, I think. I
don't think so.
We didn't tell him he was coming in for a roast.
No. Well, now it's under Bruce and Mike. We gotta make fun of them a lot.
Right, that's true. All right, guys, listen. Thanks so much for coming in.
Before we break, could I just ask one thing?
Oh, yeah.
No. My wife loves to plan trips to weird places, and she was planning a trip to Lithuania. And she gave me some material to read, and I was looking at it. I saw that in northern Lithuania, evidently there's a lot of farmhouse brewers. And if anybody out there knows of any cities or any of these little breweries, because when I look on the internet, all I find is the big breweries. But if anybody has any information on these little Lithuanian breweries, I would love to get that information, and they could send it to my email, which is mcarpenter@anchorsf, as in San Francisco. .com, and I'd appreciate it.
My friend loves a brewery out there, actually, called Svitris. They make a Pilsner that I've had. I got informed it's actually really amazing. It's SV.
Yeah.
Some Lithuanian.
Send the info.
I'll be more than happy to try it.
Svitris.
All right. So if anybody's been to, you said northern Lithuania, is that right?
Evidently, it's in northern Lithuania. It's not that big a country, really, but but evidently in northern Lithuania.
It's a longer name than a border line.
Make sure you bring a lot of cash because they don't take checks.
And
really?
And penicillin.
Yeah, and it's too bad you need northern info because I know we have tons of listeners in eastern and southern.
Yeah. This one's going to be tough. All right, if anybody has any info, that way Mark can have a better vacation.
Carpenter at anchorbrewing.com?
Anchorsf.com.
Right.
What's the deal with the travel? You'll let your wife go to whatever weird place she wants?
She comes up with these places. She loves to go places where there are no tourists.
Okay.
What was the last place you went?
We went to Wales. We spent,
Richmond.
2 weeks in Wales, which is very windy and wet and cold, but lots of friendly people and good pubs. And so
if the Brits don't even want to go there, it must be bad.
No tourists. All right, and so you get to do the beer side if you have to go to these weird places.
Well, you have to stop every day for beer. I mean, that's,
that's right. That's true. It's nourishment.
Yeah.
All right. And are there any clues about what might be next in the Zymaster series I could eke out of anybody?
I don't think so. I think we have a lot of things in mind. We don't have the final recipe on any of them nailed down. There will be something new coming out in the spring.
Okay.
Secret Master.
Yeah, and so they're fun things for us, and we're still kind of nailing down a few recipes.
Okay. Well, I'm excited about it. Every time you guys put out a new beer, you're doing good things. So
why did Mark's wife come tonight?
It's an IPA, right?
To Martinez.
Martinez is an odd place. You could have explored.
There's no listeners.
Yeah,
no listeners.
If she's
tourists,
if she's into towns that look like the apocalypse has started, Martinez is on the top of the list.
She'll be here soon. I'll let her know.
Right. You didn't get bit, did you? Because if you got bit, you can't come in.
It's still a little busy for her.
Right.
No tourists come here.
Yeah, I'll let her know. She'll be here.
If she needs a bail bondsman, we got you. Or an antique.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for coming into the show, and thank you also for having us out at the brewery the other day. That was a real treat. We left there pretty excited. In case you didn't notice, we did jumping jacks all the way down the street.
We arrived there excited, too.
Yeah, that's true. It was very gracious of you to take time out of your day, and, of course, to come back on the show, drive all the way out here to lovely Martinez. So
it was
thanks.
a pleasure to have you. I don't see how you guys keep this interesting for so long. So
we stopped 4 years ago.
Right. We're just not quitters. That's
very
what's
good.
happened.
Very good.
Yeah, thanks for coming in, guys. We appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break. You're more than welcome to stay. Well, here's what we'll do. We'll take this break. When we come back, if anybody wants to call in for Drunk of the Week, we'll take Drunk of the Week phone calls. But we're just going to wrap things up. A couple more things to cover, and we'll get out of here. Special thanks to Anchor Brewing. Go to anchorbrewing.com. They have a great new website. You can check out everything that we've talked about, all the different beers, and go to the brewery. I highly recommend it. It's The Session. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network. All right, BN Army, it's trivia time. What's the only homebrew shop with over 1,000 recipe kits, $4.99 shipping on orders over $100, and is also home of the Wolf Shirt? The one and only answer is Austin Homebrew Supply. For over 20 years, they've specialized in creating recipes such as the best-selling Texas Blonde Ale, Apocalypso, Hop Bomb 2.0, and Double Chocolate Stout. And they just recently unveiled their small grain kits that produce 1 gallon of beer. Visit AustinHomebrew.com to browse their extensive catalog of equipment and ingredients. They also have mini clone recipes of your favorite commercial beers. They're the exclusive retailer of BrewVent yeast fuel as well, Yeast Nutrient, and the all-new Bodybuilder. Follow Austin Homebrew Supply on Google Plus to participate in video hangouts on popular brewing topics. So visit AustinHomebrew.com today and make sure you sign up for their weekly email with news and specials. Austin Homebrew Supply, AustinHomebrew.com.
When I order a beer, I want my server to know more about it than I do. I want someone who enjoys good beer and loves helping others enjoy it too. I want someone who knows how to pour a perfect pint for any beer style. I want a Cicerone. The Cicerone certification program is creating the type of people who help you enjoy great beer. Home brewers and craft beer lovers know beer is more flavorful and complex than ever, and it takes some serious knowledge to store and serve beer right. Cicerones know beer. There are 3 levels in the Cicerone program: Certified Beer Server, Certified Cicerone, and Master Cicerone. Cicerones are truly the sommeliers of beer. The best beer locations have a certified Cicerone on staff. Relaxed and unpretentious, Cicerones are tested on storing and serving beer, beer styles, flavor and tasting, the brewing process and ingredients, and pairing food with beer. Learn more about your next beer guide at cicerone.org. Certified Cicerone, because it takes top talent to present a perfect pint.
Did you know the Brewing Network's very own Code Writing Fool's son, Ryan Wolf, has opened a beer mecca in Missouri? The Wolf Brow House of Beer has hundreds of beers from all over the world and is conveniently close to I-70 in St. Peters. Free tastings Saturdays 4 to 6 p.m. featuring special guests from local breweries. The best build-your-own six-pack around with every style represented. And kegged craft beer available for your kegerator too. There's always something new at the Wolf Brow House of beer. New and hard-to-find beer every week. No two visits are the same, just like passing out at the Rat Pad.
Hi, this is Ryan from Wolfbrow, House of Beer. Mention the Brewing Network when you stop in for some cool free stuff. Mention JP for a swift kick in the ass.
The Wolfbrow House of Beer. Beer with personal service from a member of the BN Army.
This is Code. Visit my son's shop or I'll yank the BN website down.
www.wolfbrow.com. Here's a bite for beer lovers. Soft caramel made with real craft brew and coated in chocolate. And hop drops, hard candies made with real hop oil. Introducing Beer Candy from beercandy.com. Beer Candy's amazing caramels come in 4 mouth-watering flavors. IPA, bitter gold, wrapped in smooth white chocolate. Lager, made with a familiar beer from Boston and coated in milk chocolate. Lambic, soury Belgian goodness full of fresh raspberry and dipped in dark chocolate. And stout, roasty cocoa chocolate insanity. Hop drops are made with Fuggles or Cascade hops and are known as the candy that bites you back. Choose from sampler and full sizes of both and make your mouth jump to life. All at beercandy.com. Hop drops and beer caramels. Satisfy your sweet tooth as only a beer lover could with Beer Candy. Visit beercandy.com today.
Wait till you can pour it out of your own kegerator.
Yeah. I mean, your friends will look at you with awe.
And it's just hot.
It is?
It's so super hot.
The home of live beer radio. TheBrewingNetwork.com.
Because like beer, radio shouldn't suck.
You're listening to The Session.
To be confused, one night to speak the truth.
listening to the Brewing Network. Because like beer, radio shouldn't suck. Yes, sir. Thanks for sticking with us. Wrapping things up here. 888-401-BEER, 888-401-BEER if you want to be drunk of the week on the Anchor show. It's a very prestigious show to
Skype up
to win drunk of the week.
Can we have Anchor here at least once a month?
Oh, Bevo just cut you off.
I know.
I'm sorry.
We should have them here once a month, shouldn't we?
He doesn't mean them. He means their beer. Can we have Anchor here once a month?
I have to tell you, I love this stout.
Yes.
I am all about this stout.
You're not a stout guy.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing. The stout is amazing.
I think you have to face the other way from the microphone so that we only hear it. Like turn your head. Yeah, like that.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to write a song for your stout right now, Mark. Your marketing department can have this. This one's a freebie.
You know, Andy Wood needs that machine.
Yes.
Somebody's stout is in my booth.
Oh, really?
That's probably mine.
That sounds dirty. It sounds like a... It has its own music, that thing.
The stout is in my booth. Someone's stout is up in my shit, yeah.
Skype is now up, Bevo. 888-401-BEER if you want to call in for Drunk of the Week. We just got a couple of things to get to, and then we're out of here.
Skype
is a reminder that our Winter Brews Festival is January 26th. We got a lot of great breweries that are going to be there. It's in Todo Santos Plaza in Concord, California, our new home. You realize this is the first time that our Winterfest has been held in the same place twice. We keep getting kicked out of places.
True. It was the best place ever.
It is great up here, and it's the only time that we've done it in the same place twice, and so excited about that.
Is Bad Rock coming?
I don't know because...
Damn.
He's not in the budget this year. Usually he helps, and I'm able to fly him out here, but I'm tightening the reins and everything. So I emailed him that, and I haven't heard back from him. I hope I didn't hurt his feelings.
I need a handler.
You do need a handler.
We can find one for you.
It ain't the same.
No.
I need a big, ugly handler.
Bruce,
I'll be your handler.
Have you ever been so drunk that you need a handler? Like a person to make sure that you don't get into trouble?
Never.
Because he's big. He's big.
Doc's a little guy. It creeps up on him. Everywhere we go, Doc needs a handler.
Oh, stuff happens.
Mark, you ever been so drunk that you need a handler?
I happen to know that Bruce has been drunk enough where he should have had a handler.
Right. All right, let's go to the phones. I do have Skype open now. We got Grod on the line. Grod, what's happening, buddy?
I'm trying to go for drunk of the week this week.
Okay. Sound like you've been taking Valium. Or Valium of the week.
Yeah,
God.
You're talking funny.
Yeah. The legal chemical.
Well, hang on. I've got some sausages on the grill.
On the bobby.
He has massagers.
He's getting a massage on the grill.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
All right, Grot. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the drunkest you've ever been.
Is that metric?
What do you think you are right now?
Oh, I'm probably a 2, maybe.
No. It doesn't mean he's not drunk, though.
He's Australian. I mean, come on. That's an insult.
You know what? He's so drunk it's tomorrow.
Right.
Hang on. Let me just finish what I'm saying.
He doesn't even know what day it is. He's so hammered.
Anyway. Hey, mint julep. What the fuck? Last week, that guy with mint julep. What a pussy.
What are we talking about?
It was, what if Scott had a kid? What would its name be?
No. The mint julep guy.
I don't even remember.
Was he our drunk of the week? Is that who got drunk of the week?
I fucked it on there.
That was a joke.
That's awesome.
Grod, you're in the running for drunk of the week, man.
Yeah, hang on. Hey,
yeah.
Don't you fucking cut me off.
I kind of want to write a song about everyone who calls in right now.
I want one time, Grod, make your case. Why should you be drunk of the week? Every time you call in and just nothing happens.
Well, realistically...
I've never called in for drunk of the week before. Actually, no, I lie. I did before once. But
either you did or you didn't.
I will say this: we have talked to Grodd before, and he's never giggly.
No.
So you know the question.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
How do your friends know when you're drunk?
Giggly.
He gets giggly.
But I'll tell you, it sounds like he's faking it. It really does. It sounds like a fake laugh.
I've got no friends. But
or like he's being tickled and he doesn't like it. Like it's a creepy laugh. He has a creepy laugh.
It is a little.
He's a creeper.
Yeah.
All right,
scale
Grodd.
from 1 to 10, Grodd. How full is your basement of bodies?
I don't have a basement.
Well, then that's a 10.
All right, Grodd, you're in the running for Drunk of the Week.
What the fuck?
Perfect.
I love him.
That's great.
Perfect ending.
I hate him.
Theo Brew.
Oh.
Believe it or not.
He wants, well, no,
Where
he's
did
not
he
drunk, but he wants to clear up the gay thing.
All right.
He's not drunk or gay.
Mark, Bruce, I want you to pay close attention. And at the end, you can tell me if I'm right about this guy. All right? Theo Brew, what's happening?
No, okay, seriously, what? Like, I don't know where you got it from, other than the love of Disney.
There's a love of Disney. There's a little tinge in.
Wait.
Go ahead.
I have a song.
Okay.
I'm going to pull a wood, and I need complete radio silence.
Okay.
If it's a show tune, you're so gay.
He's getting a boner about singing a song. He's
Right.
pulling a wood.
All right, Theo, the floor is yours. Go ahead and sing your song.
Guys, this is my first time calling in about this subject, and I'm really nervous, and, well, here it goes. I love gays. I love every kind of gay. I just want to hug all of them, but I can't hug every gay. Can't hug every gay. So anyway, I am a gay lover, and I love to run.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking about gays. I really love all gays.
You know what look I'm seeing on Bruce's face? It's
shock and horror.
I feel like I'm Bruce's son right now, and I've disappointed him. That's the look I just saw on his face. Just shaking his head in
Total offense.
Because here's what it was like. This it was. I like you. I respect you.
I like you as a person, but
I'm very disappointed.
This behavior. we need to talk about this behavior of yours.
Yep.
I think about how cute they are.
Okay. All right, there you go. That's Theo Brew.
By the way, he was in the chat room asking if anyone was a fan of the film Newsies.
See.
Yeah.
No, he was not.
Yes, he was.
Oh my gosh! I need
swear
to
to
pay more
God.
attention.
See, who's going to argue with me about this?
Hey, my kids only picked up the hat thing from that.
The hat thing?
Oh, they all had the newsy hat. The Kangol?
I don't know. I've never seen Newsies because I'm straight. One of your kids is going to be gay, Doc. You know why? Because you deserve it.
It's probably going to be Parker.
You think so?
Yeah.
No, it's not going to be Parker.
Yeah.
Bryson's the thespian.
Oh, yes, he's thespian. He's going to be in that whole gay troop thing.
It's going to be fine, though. He's going to be your best kid. You'll see.
Hey, I got two best kids. They're the bestest.
All right, we have two in the running for Drunk of the Week, and, the phones aren't blowing up, and everybody wants to go home.
I don't want to go home.
I don't want to go home.
But I want to be off. I don't even be off the air. I like this. I just want to
be drunk a lot more often.
Yeah, the vodka. You got it. Usually JP's the first one out the door, but
I want to hear more auto-tune.
I love everyone right now.
And my kids know I hate auto-tune.
Isn't that weird? JP hates everybody sober and then loves everybody drunk. It's quite a reversal.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Turn your head.
I'll turn my head, but only if I can cough in your face. Da, 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 da.
All right, we're going to do voting for Drunk of the Week. We only have two contestants. First, we have Giggly Grodd, and
he was very giggly.
Theo, I'm not gay, Brew.
JP,
Theo wasn't calling in for Drunk of the Week.
Yeah, but he was.
JP,
drunk. Didn't he say?
Song.
Didn't he say last week that he wasn't going to call in anymore?
He said he wasn't going to call in for Drunk of the Week anymore.
Oh, but he was drunk, right?
No, he really just wanted to sing a song and clear up the fact that he wasn't gay by making us all think he was gayer.
I understand that, but he's not. But he wasn't. He didn't do that sober
or gayer.
I don't know that dude.
You think he was sober? Yeah. So we only have.
I think he was sober too.
All right, so we only have, well, then we don't have to vote. Grodd, you're our Drunk of the Week today, all the way from Australia. Thank you.
The chat room says Theo gets gay of the week.
I agree with that.
That's fine. Which is a tough. There's a lot of that going around, and it's tough.
There is. It's
win
catching.
Yeah. Is it me, or is the brewer from Creek Monkey sitting on our couch right now, too? Now we have a plethora of brewers. Bruce, remember the bar I told you about that we can zip line to right there? He's their brewer. He's come to join us. There's only one brewery in Martinez, and that's Matt. And
Matt Sager.
Matt Sager's in here. Does he skydive? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
No, he does.
Oh.
Do you skydive, man?
I've been known to jump out of planes.
He jumps out of planes, Mark.
There we go.
All right.
There's two of you.
We're on our way to a record.
Do you have a knee replacement?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Well, the night is still young.
I need a knee replacement.
He's drinking the last of our hop vodka that I'm laying claim to right now.
And I think he likes it.
How can you not like it?
It's really good.
It's awesome.
Does the new knee hurt, Mark?
No,
I gotta know.
No, it's new.
Yeah, jump up to
No, it does. It doesn't hurt at all. It's really amazing. It feels funny.
Oh yeah,
but it's no pain. Yeah.
Is it numb? Does it feel like
kind of? It's very hard to kneel on it. You have to have a knee pad because there's. I don't know quite why they destroy a lot of nerves and stuff, but no, it's just great.
What's it made out of?
I think it's titanium and plastic. I asked the doctor the brand name and whatnot. I've forgotten all of that.
I see. Yeah, it's a Chevy.
Yeah,
came out of Detroit.
Can we see you do a Tebow?
the kneel and he can't.
I can do it on the right knee, no problem.
Right.
Left knee, I'll need a knee pad.
Does it? You had had a bad knee for a long time.
A long time, yeah.
So is it now like better than ever? I mean,
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just like when both knees were great. When it was just you can do anything,
right?
With the exception of kneeling. Yeah, that's why I can walk. I took up the walking to get the knee back in shape, but boy, it just you can do it.
So now what'll happen is it will be the last remaining good part is what'll happen.
Yeah. Exactly.
You'll be perfect in the knee.
Right.
So when they cremate you, there'll be that left.
You should Google images of knee replacement surgery.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Is it gnarly?
Oh, it's hella gnarly.
Hella.
With all of the historic artifacts at Anchor,
awesome.
I'm pretty sure your knee should be on the wall one day.
No, it's not
Maybe
old
I could
enough.
leave it.
Leave your knee in your will to the brewery.
It's not old enough.
No.
His other knee should be left.
Right. Imagine what that one looks like, though.
So, hey, don't forget to take your pre-med.
What's that?
Well, you have to pre-med before you get your teeth cleaned.
Yes, correct. And I went the other day and forgot. But
yeah.
I don't understand that.
If you have had surgery, you have to take a
medicine. Well, no,
before.
especially a joint replacement because you don't have the blood flow into that space.
Oh.
And so you can get an infection and it will reject the whole knee.
I see.
And then I got to pay for a new knee.
Oh, yeah, that's
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a good thing he's not your patient.
Yeah.
So you have one then?
Nope.
He's a dentist. That's his subtle way of telling you he's a doctor.
Right. Man's a doctor.
Yeah.
All right.
Dentistry.
I think we're done here. I think we can let these gentlemen go and get out of here.
Done too.
All right. Who's on next week? I think we got another in-studio guest next week. Sheldon Kaplan from Suds County, USA.
Is that Monday?
It's a Sunday show. Which I think is not a place. It's a brewery, not a place. Suds County, USA.
It's actually a documentary about the San Diego craft beer scene.
Oh, wow.
And
That's right.
it's quite good. If you can find a copy or find it online or whatever, check it out before he comes on. And yeah, it's great. Really entertaining and well done.
I should probably watch it before the interview.
You should.
I know, Moscow, you were saying a couple weeks ago you saw it, and you were actually really surprised that there's a beer documentary out there that's good.
Exactly, yeah. I get stuff like this every now and again, but this one was really impressive, and so I wanted him to have a voice.
Cool.
You see, Mark, it's not just us. These idiots are making movies about beer, too. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, and as specialized as the San Diego craft beer scene.
Just about one location.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If we were to do one about the SF Bay Area craft beer scene, it would be the worst movie ever made.
Well, because we did it.
Yeah.
Well, because all the good guys are retired.
Right. Well, there's still a couple left. They're just distilling now.
Talking about Monday, Sunday show, I thought about let's do a Saturday show.
What? Are you insane?
Oh, not at all.
No.
I've tested myself. I'm not insane. There's
I would
no
just
way.
like to tell you that I'm going to be unavailable that day.
No,
I don't
okay.
know what Saturday it is, but I will not be here.
Hey, I've checked with you, and you're unavailable a lot.
Doc, I have a life.
No, we go out after.
I see. Do the show and then go out?
Because your life is going out.
Right.
Well, when we go out on Saturday night, it's always 9 o'clock.
Right.
Right? So we've already pre-gamed.
I can't do it. No. In fact, I wasn't going to tell you guys this, but I'm pretty much just going to. I wasn't going to say that we officially moved to Mondays, but I was pretty much going to give Moscow the directive just to start booking the shows on Mondays.
I can't do that.
You can do it.
I can't do it either. But what?
I can't.
By example, next week should be a Monday show, and I think we should make that happen.
But it's already booked.
I can do it once in a while Monday show.
Not when we have an in-studio guest from out of town. It can't be changed.
Whatever.
Yeah.
The doctor is not in.
You are in. We're done by 9. We're done by 9.
I know.
What are you? 69? Is that too late? Sorry, Mark.
What are you, retiring?
What are you, 53 and I have to work on Patients in the morning.
Yeah, you'll be in bed by 10.
Yeah?
Well, then what's the problem?
He has to argue with his wife for 4 hours before he goes to bed.
Right, when he gets home.
No, actually, Mondays are harder because I got to bring the kids places on Monday nights and things. So it's tougher.
Yeah, but my life sucks with shows being on Sundays.
It's Saturday.
Saturday is even worse.
I'm just thinking more of just a one-off Saturday show just to throw it out there.
How many times do you think Rod will keep calling back on Skype before he realizes I'm not going to answer his phone?
I hope until he defaults on his loan and gets his house taken away.
He's like a psycho ex-girlfriend.
Moscow said he doesn't even know what day it is. He probably thinks it's Monday.
Right. You won, Grod. You don't have to call back. It's fine. You're the winner. You've won in life.
An acceptance speech?
Well, that means I have to post a medal to Australia. So that call just cost you $24.95.
It's okay.
Oh, I'd like to hear the acceptance speech.
See, Doc, I hate it when you do this.
You know you got to do it.
And it just encourages his behavior. Now he knows if he calls incessantly,
he just call me.
Then eventually I'll answer.
Your therapist is doing wonders. Look at you.
Grod, go ahead.
Hey. Hey.
I got through. I get attention.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, fuck you, JP.
You've won. You've won Drunk of the Week.
Hey, the first time. How many years have I been listening? And now I just won.
You've won.
Hey,
you've finally done it. You had no competition.
It's not that you won, Grod. It's that everyone else lost.
You had no competition, but you've won.
I know. I don't care. I just won.
He's Australian. He'll take it. That's a victory.
I think that they knew Grod was, in contention, and they just backed out.
Right. All right, Grod. Congratulations on your win.
Hey, don't fuck me up. Don't you go away yet. Hey, I'm going to be in Philly in June.
Good.
And I want everyone to buy me a fucking beer.
A what?
A fuckload
of beer.
A fucking beer.
Oh.
He wants that new beer from Phuket. That's what he wants.
I see.
But he can't pronounce it properly.
So you're going to the National Homebrewers Conference in Philly?
Yeah.
I will not be.
Don't forget, Justin, you said you're going to give me an entry ticket, whatever the fuck you call it, to BNA 8.
Oh, to the anniversary party. Did I say that?
No, you never said that.
Yes, he did. Yes,
No,
yes,
he
you did.
No, he didn't.
When I said give, did I mean for free?
Yes.
No, in exchange for paper dollars.
Cheap bastard. Yes.
Vivo.
Fine.
I hear.
Fine.
Fine.
Mark, can I borrow $20 so I can let this guy in for free? All right, Grod, you're in for free. Damn it.
Also, too, I wanted to say that I called back just to piss DP off for
Yeah.
of the week.
Why don't you go tag me on...
Two calls in one day.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Why don't you go tag me on 89 stupid photos that you post?
All right, thank you, Grod. See, now JP is just going to start making Facebook insults. And
no, I'm not.
Who knows what those mean anyway. All right, let's get out of here. So next week, we've got the filmmaker Sheldon Kaplan from Suds County, USA. It is a Sunday show, which makes Doc happy. And
do you think I could do the plugs in auto-tune? I don't know if... I don't think speech works. I think you have to sing into it.
Then sing the plugs.
You think so? You think that would be a detriment to our sponsors?
Well, it's going to be to the tune of your song. So
that's true.
Does he have enough time over the JP's an asshole?
You have 1 minute and 8 seconds. You actually have 1 minute.
I can try it. Let me try it.
Get it ready. Make sure you turn away from the microphone.
Oh, it's ready.
Okay. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
All right. Thanks again to Anchor. Go to anchorbrewing.com right now and check it out. You can see all the beers that we've talked about today. And check them out at our Winter Brews Festival on January 26th because they'll be pouring beer there. And by the way, you guys are all invited to come. I'll put you on the guest list. Doc will be paying for your ticket to come in.
Oh, as long as you're pouring me beer.
You're all welcome to come out to the fest. We'd love to see you. And all right, everybody, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you to our show sponsor, More Beer. You can get absolutely everything you need by going to greathomebrewmorebeer.com. Yeah! Help Colorado's strange brewing company fight douchebaggery by drinking beer the strange days. I don't know. Go to rackhousepub.com. JP's on Twitter. Follow him at Major Jill to better understand why his family has abandoned him. Scott the Jew is on Twitter at Moscow Pains for some good beer inside and homebrew info. Follow Nate Smith at Nathan Homebrew and Mike McDowell at JC McD. The Big Winter Business Class approaching March calendar January 26th. Make sure you're up to speed on the latest updates by the Big Invest feed across your favorite social networks. Check out the Brewing Network, serve on the latest media merch, including Make sure to find the Brewing Network on Twitter.